Hello, I'm professional broadcaster Dan McDowell, letting you know that you are about to hear one of our free podcasts. But if you'd like to subscribe at dumbzone.com, you'll get 4 shows per week, plus the weekend wrap-up and any bonus sods like our Business Wednesday interviews. So, if you forgot how to use the 15-second rewind, that's dumbzone.com to subscribe. Now, on to today's program.
The Dumb Zone.
Yeehaw! Fair Lease, Blake, fairlease.org. That's where you're going to lease your next vehicle. You'll save money. Leasing costs you less than buying. You pay only for the lease amount, not the whole car. Fair Lease will do you right. It's fair. We had a listener who dealt with Matthew out at Fair Lease, who delivered his sweet-looking Chevy Tahoe right to his driveway, Blake.
A Tahoe?
Tahoe.
So they got, like, them nice cars.
They have it all.
Wow.
They have it all. Literally all of it. Save time avoiding spending a whole Saturday or a Sunday at the dealership. Especially
What about a
that,
Nissan?
They got that, especially with that.
My.
Yeah, the WNBA really
They really
heating
do
up.
have it all.
I don't think they have Ford.
Go to fairlease.org. You'll see How Did You Hear About Us? And then I want you to say The Dumb Zone at fairlease.org. Thank you, Fair Lease.
The preceding and the following content are brought to you by No Puppet Productions and The Dumb Zone.
What's a Volvo?
It feels like the
Car,
part that
right?
pokes out.
Something down there, right? Pokes out? It's all hanging there like ramen?
It's like the outside part.
Ramen noodle? It is my Dirk minus Jason Tatum birthday.
Like, I didn't think it was possible to describe the female anatomy in a way that made it grosser to me. Now I'm like, ramen.
If you ever see some ramen noodle hanging down there, you'll know what I mean.
Alright, 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 alright. Alright, 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 alright. I never listen, I'm gonna listen. I wanna listen to the Dumb Zone.
Well, today is our Monday. Tomorrow will be our Tuesday, and then we'll be back on track.
Right.
I wanna listen to the Dumb Zone. Alright,
All this
alright,
because
alright,
Jake-
alright, alright. Alright, alright,
We were worried about you. You didn't show up yesterday. And like, where is he? Is he on a bender? What's going on?
A bender.
Anyway, I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jake
I'm
Kim.
Blake Jones.
We also have Clayton here. We're broadcasting live to tape. I believe streaming live on YouTube on this usual Monday show. On Tuesday from high atop my garage. Not in our downtown Dallas studios. Why aren't we there all week? What are we doing?
Moving the cameras and
Sit-ins.
stuff, and Joe's in from Seattle and wanted to come here.
That's right, Joe's here.
Howdy.
Can I say your last name?
Yeah.
Klopchik.
Yes.
Did he nail it?
Klopchik.
No, it's Klopchik. It's kind of like Donchik. It's
Yeah.
Slovenian.
Dan knows how to nail these names. Pasternak.
You're close. But yeah, my grandma was something. Something
A
over
piece of
there.
ass is what she was.
Probably, at some point. I mean, she had lots of kids.
Yeah,
That means she loved doing it.
no doubt. No, but I like this little setup we have. It's just that none of you guys will take advantage of it. I'm the only one who...
What, that we can just say, hey, I want to take
Yeah.
a vacation day, and everybody nods? And
Yeah,
goes,
we'll still
okay.
get the 4 days in. Like next week I'm going to Galveston, but I'm going to do the show down there with a few boys back here. Freedom, I call it.
We do have a modicum of freedom? What's modicum mean?
A little bit.
Okay.
I like it. Properly used.
So
Well, I haven't
on-
seen you guys in forever.
You look great.
Hey, thanks.
4 days ago.
Feels like a long time.
But you've had a lot happen to you. We just had the same things happen.
Yeah.
You've experienced Portlandia.
Oh.
Is that on today's program?
Yeah, we're gonna need an extended portion of the show for the Portland weekend check.
Okay, you're pushing that ahead. That won't be now.
Trump was right.
That Portland's a pit?
Aw.
It's not a pit, but
It's your liberal dream.
we will definitely spend some time later in the show discussing when that liberal dream goes wrong.
Okay. There's such a thing as two liberal policies?
Yeah, I think there is, and I just experienced it
All right.
in a major way.
Yeah, I see on today's program we have NFL free agency has begun.
Wow.
I'm sure the Cowboys are active.
We'll
Find out later.
What they needed to get done, pal.
I just need to get one more.
Sig?
I see high school basketball controversy. I've got some.
Do you
I've
think-
got a load of today in Twitter.
Do you think Trent could get away with that and just say that it's my name? Like if after every successful deep snap, he just did the Sig Hell.
What's his last name?
Sig.
It's just Sig.
Sig?
Sieg.
I think you
Sieg.
pronounce it Sig. It's like Sieg, like Sieg Heil.
Sieg?
Yeah.
What does Sieg Heil mean?
Salute, right? Or something.
I don't know. Anyway,
I just want our friend to be happy.
Victory of salvation.
that's right. I held off on texting him
Did you?
when I saw the news.
Well, if
I
they
was-
sign Banger, you can text him.
okay.
If he signed Banger, we need all three of them on the show together.
Yeah.
Grabbing each other's noses. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
The band back together.
Our boy had surgery.
Who?
Yeah.
Brandon?
Hobbs.
On what?
Shoulder.
Oh.
I mean, I
How does he?
figured good friends would know that, but
What does that mean? Why would he have shoulder surgery?
probably just like a normal 30-year-old man.
Yeah, text him and ask him how he's feeling.
Do you need to drop any casseroles off or anything?
If you have any of that, your pain medication left, we'll
Yeah.
take it. I had a buddy. Dan had a buddy. I've once had a buddy. Because I had something and they gave me some kind of Vicodin. And he's like, we just knew he's the guy that wants the pills, and I didn't take any. I don't think I might have taken one, but I'm not a pill guy.
I'm not either, fortunately.
Plants over pills.
Yeah, it just never really took with me.
But he claimed they worked real great with alcohol, and I just thought, okay,
Well, they do work great. They're just
yeah,
very, very bad for you.
do his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still doing fine.
Yeah.
As always, we
On a
will just
long
tell you
enough
the
timeline.
just ignore the dog. He'll fall asleep eventually. But you
God, he
seem
was
to
a
be
pain in the ass the other day. I hope this isn't a trend.
you seem to be a pro at it.
He's not too bad.
No, he's a pain in the ass all the time. But the good thing about tiny dogs is it's just kind of a tiny pain. If you had a giant dog that was a pain, that would be terrible.
That's a shot at me for no reason.
Well, your dog is a pain. He's got a cyst that explodes every time you look at it.
Ew.
We have high school basketball controversy. I have today in Twitter, Portlandia. Yeah, that's all coming up. Want to do a weekend check first?
Sure.
Is this
Community.
sponsored? I know that you kind of threw these sponsors on there at the last minute, and I don't like that.
Community
up early, I'm
Mechanical at
grinding.
communitydfw.com. I was actually just talking to Travis yesterday. They are coming out to my house this week.
Yeah, so that's your HVAC, your home for HVAC maintenance, repair. You need a new unit. You need a new unit for a business. How about Community Mechanical? CommunityDFW.com.
Yeah, book yourself a free sales estimate for uneven heating and cooling, which is what I did. They came in and shot a little ray gun and said cold.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do that for you. If you get that free sales estimate, they will buy you a DZ knit cap, regardless of whether you use them. But if you do get a new HVAC system through Community Mechanical, they will buy you a 690 sit-in, so you can enjoy the luxury that Josh is enjoying here. CommunityDFW.com, CommunityDFW.com. Hit up Travis. He'll get back to you quickly. You can text him at 469-667-7290. Make sure your HVAC is taken care of, Dan. Just do it.
And tell him you heard it. Where'd they hear about it, Joe?
Dan Bongino show.
No.
No, it's on the dumb zone.
The Dumb Zone.
Oh.
That's right. Dan Bongino, does he still have a show?
No, I think he's been out of the game for a minute.
Doesn't he do stuff? Isn't he
Yeah,
the-
he's like the assistant of the FBI.
Okay, he's not in charge of the military. That's another TV guy, right?
Pete Hegseth.
Okay.
Pete Hegseth, who just really playing all the hits for all the alcoholics at home. when he's doing the. I mean, if you give me the really important job, I'll cut back. That always works. I'm gonna switch to wine during the week.
It was nice having 3 days off.
Yeah.
Or 3 days just in a row, which makes me question our format here. Do we go 4 on and 3 off? Should we? But if we did that, I don't want to take Mondays off generally.
Yeah.
Weekends are fun, lots of sports, especially during the football season. And then, Fridays are always a fun show too.
Look,
so.
it's nice every now and then, but I like how we have it.
You like the donut?
I also think if I were quote-unquote off on Friday from doing the show, we would get less done. By situating our quote-unquote off day in the middle of the week, we get a ton of stuff done that day.
Yeah.
If it's Friday, you're kind of like, Blake's golfing.
No, I'm not.
You could be.
I could be. But I enjoyed Monday off because it made Sunday feel like an extra Saturday, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
Now, during the football season, it's nice to, chat about it on Mondays, but I don't know, this weekend rocked.
Did you rake?
No.
Did you play softball yesterday?
Yeah, we played softball, but it was just cold and windy, and the first game we got rained on a little bit. Split again. We'll get a sweep one of these weeks.
That's my almost my entire weekend check is just that it was terrible weather.
Mm-hmm.
So we did little walking at Lowe's. Had the Sunday phone call with my mom.
Do you ever buy anything?
Yeah, occasionally.
Just the ball peen hammer just to say you did?
Usually it's like weed, something for the lawn.
Okay.
Not weeds. You don't buy weeds to put in the lawn. I'm so good at maintaining my lawn. We buy weeds and sprinkle it around just for a challenge.
It's like a weight vest.
Yeah, give her a challenge.
Yeah.
You're training.
No, but what I will now consider, I think I've already declared this, but I saw the weather forecast, so I put some wood in the garage to make sure it would stay dry. It did, and we had what will be the final indoor fire of the season.
Yeah.
I think it's all over now. Looking ahead. Never really had a big freeze. That's great. Never really got that close to
Snowmageddon.
worrying about, why I haven't gotten a generator.
No, it got cold, though.
Yeah, but never just the
But
big,
no, not this. Yeah.
the big
Icing.
ice storm and all that kind of stuff. So that's good. Everything's fine. Everything's going great. But yeah, it was the final fire of the season, and it's very sad. Very sad that won't continue. What else on your weekend?
So I was kind of trapped indoors with the kid all weekend, so it wasn't that busy of a weekend. But these have been kind of piling up, so let's do this. The handoff.
No, wow, we're getting
An early
blessed
handoff.
by
That's great.
We're gonna do another handoff.
Wow.
I asked for submissions from the subbies, and I'm just gonna do one per, but I got a good one here from Robert, who said, I fired my dentist because they were going to charge me a $75 late cancellation fee. I canceled right at the 24-hour rule. My next argument was that I wasn't canceling, just simply postponing. And so when they kept the charge, I asked for a copy of my contract to see what they could charge me for.
Mm-hmm.
And in the small writing, it said they could charge a, quote, reasonable fee. To which his response was, I don't think $75 is reasonable. He said, how about 50?
Well, I mean, at this point.
Could not come to an agreement, so he canceled. So Robert felt like that's very run the ball to cancel or to change your dentist because of a disagreement over what a reasonable fee is.
It's such a beating to change, too. You got to call and get your records. The new place has to run your insurance, all to prove some stupid point.
But that's what this segment's about. We're running the ball, all right? And you're not going to charge us $75.
They know the play. Line it up and do it again.
Yes. So that's our submission.
It probably
for the week.
depends on if you've done it before. Because, like, man, I had an era where my eye doctor, I was canceling every other appointment.
Just
no showing.
oh,
I'd
no.
call the morning of, and they'd be like, we're going to charge you. I'm like, that's fair.
Yeah.
But if it's your first time getting charged, it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, especially if you're just going to move it back a week or something. I guess that's what most people do. But
Yeah,
shout
but
out to
that messes up the day, for the they got a schedule. Though they rarely keep it, correct?
Yeah, they're always running late. And I feel like it's better to cancel than try to sneak in there, because then, I don't know, you got 20 minutes. Go hit your bong. Anyway, that's from Robert.
Hey, that's a good one. Spike cancellations.
Yeah, so let's do it again.
Oh, still a little confused about the flow of the...
It's a reset.
The handoff.
Okay. All right, I got an issue because kind of in the market for a new car, and I cannot lease because I drive way too much. I would just crush through that lease mileage. And so I'm looking around at buying a car, and I stumbled upon one that I might want to get, and I wanted to set up a test drive. And so you got to do the thing where you go to the website, you put in your name, your email, your phone number, you
I've
submit
never
it through
done
the
it.
portal. Really?
I've never test driven a car. Other than, I think maybe a couple times when I was doing spots.
Okay.
They'd have you come out and the guy will drive around with you. But I've never just gone and test driven a car.
So
Yeah.
you're just like, this will be fine?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm kind of with you.
I've been in a Ford Explorer before. I kind of knew what I was getting. I got the most basic one.
What if you're buying a used car, though? Feels like you'd
yeah,
wanna
mine
test
was
drive
used, but it was dealer used, But I'm probably the outlier.
Yeah, I haven't done too many, but I get what you're saying. They're kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a car.
It's kind of the same, right?
It's kind of like, you don't test drive your rental car. You just get in it, and then it's probably fine. And it usually is.
So, within a couple minutes, they're all over you. I get this text. Hi, Blake. This is Megan from this dealership. I see you're interested in this car. It's listed at this location. I'll double check its availability with our lot manager. In the meantime, let's schedule a test drive. Here are our hours today. I respond, I can be there at this time. They said, great, you're all set. This time, this is the address. Looking forward to seeing you. Awesome. This is how this should go. So get ready, get in the car, and I get a follow-up text from the same number. Hello, Blake. My name is Cash. I'm a customer consultant here at this dealership. I was asked to personally handle your inquiry for this car.
By Megan.
It looks as though that our virtual assistant booked you for a visit this evening, but the vehicle is not available.
Okay. So was Megan a
So now
AI?
he's cleaning up the mess of, AI Megan.
I don't need AI with names.
No. I don't like that at all.
I thought it was a person named Megan.
You were developing feelings.
A little bit.
Boner.
Little bit. Sent a little exclamation mark.
Boner.
What do we do? Why are we naming our virtual assistant?
Yeah.
Don't say anything. And now I'm mad at Cash because I don't know if Cash is real or not.
Could just be another robot.
It could be another robot.
Does a robot clean up the other robot's mistake?
I don't know.
Huh.
But it would be funny if the male robot cleaned up the female robot's mess.
She's new.
I don't know.
She's going through a lot.
That really upset me that this freaking robot, one, messed up, but then was just, hey, I'm a human, and my name is Megan, and I'm here to help you.
So, in this portion of the handoff, you're just upset that you're dealing with robots all day.
I'm
Taking all the humanity out of customer service.
that's some of it,
Taking our jobs.
but I don't mind the little AI chat or the virtual assistant, whatever you want to do, but don't pretend to be a human.
Yeah.
Don't give me a name.
Why stop
Don't
at a name? Why not give it a backstory?
Yeah.
She's like, I was sexually assaulted. When I was I'm a survivor.
Yeah,
Like,
companies
I don't know. That's
don't name your virtual assistant.
The handoff.
And our final entry for this week in the handoff. So I got a group of buddies. We play pickup basketball on Monday evenings, and we have for probably 15 years or so. It's basically every Monday night at this church in Garland, and there's some people there that I've become good friends with over the years. Some that just kind of keep at a distance. I just see them 2 or 3 times a month, and that's it. So one of them came up to me and sat next to me, which is strange because we play together, but that's it. And he sits down, he looks at me, and he says, "Who do you have insurance through?"
Trying to proposition you.
And so within a second of him saying that, I know exactly what's going on. This guy got a new job. He's looking for new customers. He thinks he knows a thing or two about insurance. And he's framing it like, look, I can save you money. I know some things. I know some shortcuts. Let me save you some money. And so, I don't know. I'm not confrontational enough to just stop him in his tracks and say, hey, bud, no, I don't want this. I'm locked in. I don't want to shop. I don't need your, I'm sorry. I don't need it. So I just did the thing where, oh, cool. Oh, great. Okay.
So this is where the handoff intersects with guy who always is looking for a deal, coupon man. That's you.
That's a little tension.
Well, here's where I think let's establish the run. I go to pick up basketball to kind of get away. Okay? I don't need to be pressured. I don't need to be sold. I don't need to be pushed anything.
I hate all those things that make you go to your friends and family first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know? But
any sort of scheme.
Yeah, I've had a couple of friends who have done that, and I feel really bad because they're really good friends. I want to support things that they're doing, but I know they'll be doing something else in 8 months.
Yeah, there's a little pressure there. And
now I'm locked into this thing.
So he asked for my number, and I thought about giving him a fake number, but I just couldn't do it.
No, because you'll see him again.
And that's the thing, is now he asked me to fill out this form and some other stuff, which I'm not going to do. And now, every Monday in perpetuity, I'm just the guy that didn't get back to him, and I'm the guy that's not helping him. And
there's a couple options here.
I don't think I deserve this.
One, and maybe these could be related, but let's just say there's a guy there named Tim. You could be like, I'm actually good, but Tim, I actually heard him
pawn off on him
about his insurance situation. He's got a need. But the other one, which I've done many times, you make up a family member who works in that line of work or that field.
That's a great one.
I've done it with realtors before.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, let me handle you. I'm like, dude, I got an uncle. I would change it, but his family kind of does.
That took me like 2 years to get one of those lawn places like True Green or the other one. I got in with them for a little while, and then when you cancel them, they're all over you.
Yeah.
They're all, because it was like $30 a month, or I can't remember what it was, but whatever it was, I still had just as many weeds as when I didn't have them at all. And so, yes, and then my thing was, my brother started his own landscaping business, and he's doing this now.
Felt good, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay. Like, there's
really nothing you can do about it.
There's no out from that.
No.
Like, I don't care how much I can save you. It's like, it's just my
to.
brother. I'm trying to help him out with his business. Can you put that on your thing so they don't keep calling me? Okay, I'll write it down here.
Nice. You
They
went the
call
extra
me.
step.
There we go.
2 days later.
Oh, they still did.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, that's a move. This comes up a lot with financial managers. So I always got a buddy who's like, I can take care of you. You're like, I got a guy is a thing. It's already like all integrated into his system. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, now I'm just the jerk that is not helping my friend. But I go to play basketball to burn calories, not save money.
And by the looks of things, burning quite a few.
The handoff.
Beehive Productions.
Has his own producer tag. He's DJ Khaled.
Anybody else? Clayton, do you got to throw something in?
Yeah, we had another. I just watch TV on the weekends.
Okay.
Spend a lot of time catching up on shows. Gemstones this weekend.
Hell yeah.
Came
Okay.
back.
Oh,
That
it's back?
debuted, huh? All right.
Yeah.
I'm not on it yet.
You know what they did?
No.
It's the most Danny McBride thing ever, and I was so proud of him for pulling it off. So, you know he's like a real weirdo, like horror movie weirdo. Like he directed that Halloween movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's really into horror movies.
Okay.
He's directed a couple things, I think, with Jordan Peele. But he's also from the South and probably grew up around Civil War reenactments. So I guess you can do this in your last season. They hauled off and did like an 80-minute preamble with Bradley Cooper. None of the original cast is in the show. It's about the first Gemstone, who was a chaplain in the Civil War.
Oh, okay.
And it's awesome.
Is it?
Wow.
Like, it looks like a Civil War movie.
You watched it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We watched it with our friends in Portland, and, dude, it looks like a war movie. Like, guys getting their faces blown off, bombs, and Bradley Cooper is just like this drunk criminal who ends up becoming a chaplain and realizing he can make money doing it, and that's like the genesis of their family. It was brilliant. I just kind of stole Clayton's bit.
Thanks,
It's all right.
Jake.
What?
I'll bet Clayton wasn't going to describe it like that.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to say pretty much exactly the same thing and how much of a fan I am of Danny McBride and how getting Bradley Cooper to play that role was really the only way it would work because you got to have somebody who is big enough to outshine the original cast if you're going to do something
For sure.
completely different
Facts.
than the original.
Come on.
Then I don't know what my luck is, but had another issue with media company this weekend. Had Hulu the other week not streaming the Grammys.
Yeah.
The Grammys, I keep saying that. The Oscars. Spectrum outage
During.
hit late Sunday. So my entire Monday off, no internet.
Oh.
Yeah, it's no good at all.
No.
It's no good.
So I guess
Had to run everything through your phone.
no, I just raw
hotspot.
dogged it.
Nice.
No,
Just said, I'm
no
not
nothing.
going to go online, huh?
No nothing.
Huh.
Went to the grocery store, walked around for a little bit, checked out some deals on some produce.
There you go.
Hot.
Get your steps.
Yeah.
Get your Playboy magazine.
I haven't seen one of those at a grocery store in,
It's been a minute.
God, that's forever. Yeah, just, did adult stuff, I guess, that you don't do when you're...
Adulting. My TV note is Severance. Let's go.
Okay.
Speed it up. No, I'm not yelling. I'm yelling at Ben Stiller.
Oh,
like,
I don't
want to
hear this from you for 1 second.
I'm just saying,
I listened
man.
to
We're
10
crawling to
years
the
of-
finish line on this thing.
I listened to 10 years of my hero Dan wisely pointing out the erosion of discussion around TV shows was because they would drop them all at once. There was no more water cooler talk.
No. I'm talking about the storyline being just it's drag. Like the whole episode on. Like, now they're doing backstories so that we can just understand the psyche behind someone who works at Lumen. And it's like, okay, I don't care about that. I need stuff. I need things happening now. What's going on at Lumen? What's going on with the severed people? Remember? This is called Severance.
Yes.
Don't give me, like, one thing in 38 minutes or whatever it was. I'm just saying, let's move the story ahead a little bit, Ben Stiller.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah. No,
I'm screaming at the TV. I'm screaming at a cloud.
I don't know what else to say.
My time is very valuable, Jake. Can't be just wasting all of it. And then your weekend check is just later? Or are you wrapped up, Clayton? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. I will say that I did the half buffer day. I don't know that I have the full buffer day in me, the Dan McDowell plan. But I didn't want to miss any shows, but I also didn't want to get back at 10 o'clock last night. So I landed at like 1. It was perfect. Kids are still in school. Get your grocery shopping done. Do it,
Oh, yeah.
How was it?
It was great.
Good.
It felt good. We didn't want to do it up there. Too liberal. Gross. We're going to get home to a God-fearing conservative state.
Don't they have condoms laying around everywhere, though? They just give them out.
More on that later.
Give them to the Haitians. All right. Instead of sports right now, I'm going to do Today in Twitter because that'll lead us
The Dumb Zone presents Today in Twitter.
into sports. He was just trying to jump up on the top of the couch. That's where he
really?
sleeps, dude.
Okay.
If that dog bites you and you are injured, I want you to call 214 or 817 and all threes.
Okay.
to get a
That's
hold of the
Frankel and
Frankels.
Frankel.
They are personal injury lawyers, so make sure you're okay.
Don't call the Frankels on me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
Are you their client?
No, wait. In this
Okay, then I
scenario,
can't.
though, if that dog bites you, you're going to need somebody who can deal with the insurance company.
I know, but they're going to come after me.
Yeah.
And I don't want the Frankels
They're gonna come
against
after
me.
you
I like the
over-
Frankels on my side.
Over 100 years of combined experience.
Yeah. Just don't tell Joe what to do here. Call Frankel and Frankel if you get into any other personal injury besides me being at fault.
If you're at Dan's house and someone runs you over in the driveway, call 214 or 817 and all threes and get what you deserve. Today in Twitter.
The drive-in was nice. No construction workers
That
stopping
was
me.
nice. That
telling
was
me
nice.
to slow down.
No tude.
You got the new blacktop.
Yeah.
Let's start with the Fort Worth Police Department. Was
Okay.
on Twitter,
Yeah.
and they are trying to recruit you, young man or woman, maybe some women as well. You have this. Let's take a look at it here. This is a.
Holy moly.
They not like us. They not like
Oh,
us.
no.
They not like us.
Oh,
They not
no.
like us. They not like
So they
us.
put out a video.
My friend, wanna join
They had to get a black guy.
in?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Then step this way, step that way, step this way, step.
Why is that one guy
way.
dressed like a
My
clown?
friend, wanna join
Also,
in?
we've all run
Step
into this
way,
before where you're
step
like,
that
you're
way,
black, I bet you
step
can
this
rap.
way, Step that way.
Not always the case.
So
I wonder, do you
police
think-
officers are two-stepping through downtown Fort Worth, just all over the city of Fort Worth. That makes me want to be a cop.
Yeah, I think you picked it up right at the end there. Yeah.
So this, by the way, response
Play
to,
it from the beginning. But what's that? Go ahead.
Well, it's that Dallas has been recruiting in Fort Worth. There's billboards over in Fort Worth. Dallas PD is like, we're hiring, come on
Okay,
over.
so
Fort
they're
Worth's
trying
like,
to-
Nuh-uh. Because you're not like us.
Can you play from the beginning? I think he does kind of. It kind of explains the.
There you go. Yeah, you can see the billboard, the Dallas one.
Unnecessary sound effect.
Okay, so it's a Dallas "We Are Hiring" billboard. The Fort Worth cop shakes his head at it.
Yeah, this is mimicking the not like us video. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a guy with a clown thing in the video.
So, guy with a clown wig.
So this
Yes,
is just like the Kendrick video?
Yeah.
Fort Worth on the beat, yo. Recognized all the time.
Oh
On the
my
street,
God.
Go. FWPD on repeat. So
Why could they?
Here we go. What's up with that city trying to gain friction? We remain top again while you sit.
Oh no.
Good. We should show them how it's done. Go rest. We the best. We still number one.
No.
They did it.
Study the material, cuz here we go. Waste time advertising our city, but no flavor. Forward, funky town, F'd up. Why you wasting with your hate when all we got is love? Safety.
No.
I see you like a city, throwing up print stuff, that's a real pity. Numbers don't lie. Why you throwing up a board? Last time I checked, we took 14 of yours.
Whoa.
Wop, 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 from the big D. Wop, 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 wop. Now the Lil D. What you thinking, Lil D? Aren't you tired every time we open up and fill up when we hire?
Oh.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes.
No.
Good job.
They
That's
not
great.
They not like us. They not like us. They not
right.
like us.
I just
They not
don't-
like
God,
us.
that's
That's
funny.
what we saw. Yeah.
I don't want to be some sort of dork that's like, why are they spending their time and money on that when they could be
Yeah.
out catching criminals? I don't feel that way at all. This is just
That's a halfback dive in you.
yeah, for real. But that's just I don't know, how many officers do they have? I tell you exactly what happened here because I've seen it. They had a white guy that could have nailed that, but they're like, we can't do that.
Yeah.
We just can't do it. They go to this guy and he's like, I've never heard this song before. Like, I don't listen to rap music at all. And they're like, you sure about that?
Sure you have. Just
sure?
try it.
Just try it.
Just try the bass.
They not like us.
Pick up the bass.
Damn it.
Elsewhere in Today in Twitter, put up the Odell Beckham thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because Odell Beckham releases a statement on Twitter, and it's kind of like a I didn't do it. Can you see it there?
I've been informed of my allegations about me in a suite in CA,
Suit.
California. Suit.
Why don't
really
I handle the reading?
Oh, go ahead. You weren't volunteering.
I really can't even believe that my name is mentioned in that matter. There's absolutely no truth to those allegations. I do not know and have not ever met the person that filed the suit. I was not anywhere near Orinda, California at that time. In fact, I don't think I've ever been there. I've done nothing like that, and I would never do anything like that to anyone. I'm confident that these ridiculous claims against me will be dismissed. From Odell.
So that's all I saw.
This is still all I've seen.
So it's kind of like, well, what?
Yeah.
Apparently, he is named in the Diddy lawsuit.
Oh,
Him-
yeah.
him and Drewski.
Him and Drewski.
Yeah.
Did you see Drewski's?
No.
Well, I saw his statement. Is that what you mean?
No, I saw the suite. The suit where it said that he was,
Like playing slip and slide.
yes.
Like he was all
He, like-
oiled up, all big.
He,
And
like, dipped this model or something in Vaseline and then jumped on her like a slip and slide.
they were really into lube.
So wait, what's Odell Beckham saying? I have never done anything like that and would never do anything like that to anyone. I need to know what that is. What is he? What are they saying that he did?
Yeah, let's see.
Like what?
The details were out there, but I can't tell what is and isn't fake anymore.
That's the thing, man.
Yeah.
It used to be hard enough on Twitter. And now everything is so, not only AI, of course, but just the fact that they don't seem to care to police any of that.
Yeah.
Even community notes doesn't really help. I don't know.
They're funny.
What?
Community notes. Sometimes.
The bits?
It's a rape, Dan. It's pretty graphic.
Okay. All right. Well, Odell Beckham says he didn't do that. But the whole,
I was going to say I was laughing because people found the clip of Drewski on Matt and Shane.
Uh-huh.
And they asked him about it. And he's like, "You're crazy, man. Why would you ask me that?" And
he
kinda,
didn't
turns
say
it-
no.
No, and then it's kind of Shane's looking at him weird, and he's like, "No, I was never there for any of that." And McCusker's like, "The good news is we're finding out no one was. Literally no one. Every single person that's been asked is like, I wasn't there. I never went to any of those parties." And they're like, well, someone did.
I have a good bit or a bad bit and a good bit then. I
Okay.
will wrap up, and this will lead us into sports because Duolingo won there, Clayton. Put that tweet up. Duolingo tweeted out, "It is with heavy hearts we inform you that Duo, formerly known as the Duolingo Owl, is dead. Authorities currently investigating his cause of death. We're cooperating fully. TBH, he probably died waiting for you to do your lesson. But what do we know?"
Okay, bits.
And then they just said, blah, blah, blah. Expect you respect the privacy in this time. Duolingo, you know that. That's the language app. And I was doing it for a while before I went to France, which is about 1 year ago today. I think it was 1 year ago today that we actually went to France. So look for that on your, I was going to say hang zone, dumb zone calendar. So that's kind of a bad bit.
Here.
The continued bad bit is they ended up, it's a Mavrello type storyline.
Okay.
And it turns out that Duolingo was run over by a Cybertruck. And then it says they would go on to say Cybertrucks have killed 2 birds now, and they got a picture of the Twitter bird and a picture of the Duolingo owl.
That's
that's a bad bit for sure.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
But
a lot of work for it, too.
I think Duolingo has pulled out a good bit as well. Now, this is a couple weeks ago, but number 2 would be the good bit. The Lakers had put out a tweet that said number 77 has arrived. Picture of Luka Doncic, and Duolingo quote tweeted it saying, "Let's review your mistakes," which is what Duolingo does at the end of your lesson.
They quote tweeted it and added the Dallas Mavericks. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
They just
That is a good
the
bit.
world is laughing at us is what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
The world is laughing at us. I'm watching whatever the John Oliver show is.
Last week tonight.
If you're in Portland, they all know about John Oliver. Or they might think he's too right-leaning.
I was going to say, John Oliver is a conservative in Portland.
So what is the context here? They're talking about Doge or whatever, the Elon thing coming in, cutting a bunch of jobs, and that they're getting your information. And so they're talking about that. Some lady is talking about that and going back and forth with somebody. So John Oliver's playing this clip, and then he'll have his, joke after they play the clip.
Not just who I am, where I live.
How much you made, how much your refund is.
All of that is in there.
Absolutely. The most private, sensitive data about American citizens all sits in the Bureau of Fiscal Service and the Treasury payments ecosystem.
That is definitely not information I want in the hands of Elon's gang. But if I may, a little correction there. The most private, sensitive data about an American isn't their bank account information. It is their Google search history. Although, having said that, I am pretty sure that most American search history over this last month was a mix of what the fuck is happening? What is a Doge? Why is everyone so sad about Luca? What the fuck is happening, all caps? And what to do when country go, ah!
Yes, this is where you can't avoid it. It's a drive-by, but you're just kind of watching John Oliver. I can stop. I'm not sad now. I'm sad for different reasons, perhaps, but I'm just watching this show, but you get this Luca drive-by.
It's going to be that way for a long time. Culturally, it'll be a joke. It'll be like Buckner. It'll be like Bill Buckner.
It's becoming that.
You'll hear about this for the rest of your life. It was dumber than fill in the blank, and it'll be this.
Have you seen the this is mostly on Twitter as well, where I've seen these things, but the Fire Nico chants are just popping up anywhere. The FC Dallas game.
77th minute, too. I was proud of the FC Dallas supporters for that one right there. That's genius.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Also could be made up.
Who knows?
I wasn't there.
Yeah, but I mean, you had the audio and the video a little bit.
Yeah.
Different games. Apparently, at the Spurs game at Nico while he was sitting there.
That made me happy.
And I believe over the weekend at Medieval Times, for some reason, during the break in the action, a Fire Nico chant has obviously Stars games.
Oh yeah, the
it's
Stars have
happening
been
left
bringing
and
it.
right.
Yeah, that's good. I think people should be doing this everywhere, though. Like, I don't know, my kid's elementary school has a talent show in like 2 weeks. Let's get it going.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't want to talk about Luca much, but my buddy that I went to go see this weekend, he doesn't really do sports at all.
Isn't that interesting?
He played sports, too, and was a very good football player.
When you have a buddy like that, though, they're really...
He's just not into it.
Maybe that's a part of living in Portland, too.
Well, I think it's more like he fit there, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean? By moving there, he knew. And he does actually go to the Timbers games, the soccer games, because they're a party. They're fun. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I was just talking to him about Luca because he's like, what the fuck is this about? He's like, what happened? And he's also like a really, really smart guy. And he had read a little bit about it, and I was talking to him about it, and he's like, look, I don't know if this guy went to business school, meaning Nico. He's like, but this is just business school BS, which is, he described it as, this is just the infection of management mindset, which, again, if you listen to how much Nico references Kobe and how he thinks he's like this alpha, I think what Wade meant when he said management mindset is the idea of, like, I've got to do something. Like, I got to prove that I'm the guy. I got to prove I'm worth something. And that's, like, almost how they teach it in business schools. Like, you have to demonstrate worth, demonstrate value. It's like, you could just do nothing. And
sometimes that's a
lot of times it
best
is.
course of
and
action.
There have been so many businesses or industries that have been set sideways or flat out ruined by egomaniacal people.
I thought about bringing this up because I've noticed that sports culture has begun to creep into business culture, because I overheard a job interview over the weekend, and he was talking about, hey, look, we need our employees to bring the juice. You guys got to be competitive. And it felt like a coach.
Yeah.
But it was a job interview. He really said you have to bring the juice. And that
Gotta bring it.
floored me.
No, there's a lot of crossover. It's just I do think Nico comes from that school of like I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna and it's not just sports for sure. I mean, almost anyone listening to this has had a boss before.
Well, I mean, it's
you don't
obviously
really have to do that.
It's obviously financial. You know, when you look at the whole thing and the fact that that's how they led the press conference with, we were getting ahead of a tumultuous summer. And it was all about the Supermax. And there's been, talk about, is there some collusion going on? And I suppose we'll see if the next Supermax comes up and that player gets traded as well. But there's not every young player will qualify for the Supermax. Very few.
Very few.
But this was put in there by LeBron and Chris Paul and those people who were in charge of the Players Association, who realized, boy, even the max, that's way underpaying a LeBron. So the only way, we'll have this Supermax clause, but it's only if you are a generational talent. Only if you are a Shaq or a Kobe or a LeBron.
Kobe.
And here we got one. And, fans dream of getting a guy like this, but maybe owners dream of guys that can only make $30 million a year at the top and not $70.
What'd you think of the rumors? I think Nick from Locked On said this. I've heard it a couple of other places that they heard that even when Cuban was still in charge, there were some questions about the Supermax. Like that even Cuban was like, I don't know. Because then he said in that WFA interview, he didn't say you don't trade Luka. He said you've got to get a bigger package for him. My first reaction to that is, well, maybe there are things that he can't say. He can't be honest because he still owns a quarter of the team, and it's a financial, literally, he's vested in it. But that doesn't really make sense because then if he has some sort of gag order, why would he then go out and say, but you should have got a better package?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't imagine. I mean, I still say dead set on I cannot imagine Mark even contemplating that. But I suppose we could be wrong.
Well, I mean, many NBA talking heads have said, and I agree, you sign him to the Supermax, and then you can move that.
Yeah.
Because there are plenty of teams that would still want him.
That was fun to watch the game the other night. The Celtics game was great. Celtics
I have something from before the Celtics game which amused me.
Okay.
Shams is on, before the game, and they're just talking about Luka becoming more comfortable with being a Laker and all that kind of stuff. And is this as funny to you as it is to me?
Luka Doncic has been a player that's been rooted in loyalty, someone that's thought of one city, one team his whole career. Obviously, that all got dashed the moment he was traded just over a month ago to the Lakers. Now he's in L.A. He's one of the grandest performers on the biggest stage, as Stephen A. calls Tinseltown, and he's feeling more.
Yeah.
That was it. Now, is Shams
He's
just
so young
that
that's crazy.
That he thinks Stephen A. invented that term?
That's definitely what's happening here.
And that it wasn't invented in the 30s or 40s or 50s or whenever it was?
That's great.
As Stephen A. I just think it's hilarious how ESPN absolutely makes it all about them.
And Shams is, he's the type of guy who he doesn't have a life. It's not like he could tell you what was up for the Oscars this year. Culturally, the guy's probably pretty empty. He breaks trades.
He's your
although it is funny, have you ever seen
your basic?
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever seen Shams had a Twitter account in high school because he's pretty young. And it's just the same account he uses now with 10 million followers, but all of his tweets from high school were can't wait for lunch. But he would do that every day. So there's 100 tweets of just Shams in 11th grade, damn, lunch almost here. And it's just the same account.
What do you think of the KD to the Mavericks thought? Have you heard that?
# lunch time. He just tweeted, yeah, of course I have. And, I mean, you heard it at the deadline, right, that they were making a late push. And this is Nico's grand plan, is to get all the American Avengers back together. But I don't know. I mean, I still think KD's a good player, but I just don't care anymore.
No.
I just don't care. And, I mean, the Suns have a lot of problems, but the fact that they're the 11th seed and KD's been pretty healthy, what are you going to do? Kyrie's not playing until Christmas next year. Is he going to go add 36-year-old KD to hopefully healthy? It doesn't. Whatever, dude. Who cares?
If he plays at Christmas.
Right.
I've heard he could miss the entire year next year because this happened so late this year.
He could never play for the Mavericks again. Who knows what his deal will be? I don't care.
Yeah, next year I think is his option year.
Yeah.
So if they want to keep Kyrie, they might have to renegotiate this offseason or, just try to add to the deal.
I don't know.
Because I think I feel like his bargaining power is, well, first of all, the injury is horrible. I think he gets maxed out if not for the injury.
On a 2 or 3 year deal, yeah. But he's not going to get 5 for $300. But he'll get.
I don't know. With the Mavs, he might have had him up against the wall there. But
yeah, maybe.
Well, what if I leave? Then what about your grand plan? I'd like to know if I know he has had a relationship with Nico in the past, but I kind of feel like Kyrie hates this. This is what I want to believe. He's been such a good dude, and I felt like him and Luka really did mesh and were actually friends off the court.
It was working out perfectly. That's why I get bummed when we bring it up. That team never had a chance to try to win. I still think that starting lineup was like 17-0, wasn't it? The Lively, PJ, Clay, Kyrie, Luka.
It all did fit.
It all fit. The timelines matched up, but
if
listen,
we could just get. Yeah, remember our big problem was, can we get? What's it? I just forgot his name. The Splash Brother Clay coming off the bench.
Yeah,
that was our big
concern.
How to tweak this thing to really make it hum.
But listen, it's all water under the bridge because right now I'm focused on a couple things. One is Rui back Thursday. We got a back-to-back Thursday, Friday. We got 6 games in 8 days with 2 back-to-backs, the Warriors and Bucks. Trey Jemison, nice player. Don't need him out there for 30 minutes.
Luka's still working back into shape, I think.
Yeah.
He was off for 2 months. I think the Boston game, he didn't look the same as he did the previous game.
No, he's still pretty good, but not as good. He ran out of gas for sure.
But he had played like 40 minutes a couple nights before that.
And the Celtics went as balls out in that game
as
they
played.
Could have.
Yeah, they were playing guys 46 minutes.
And they had guys who hadn't played in a week who made it back for that game. Very much a circle the game. They didn't have KP, but the Lakers were down, again, 4 or 5 guys. And Luka looked bad last night, but so did AR. Got my jersey in.
KP in Boston, Brunson in New York.
Yeah.
Luka in L.A. And we got the Brow. So depressing.
He knows Murr.
That's even makes it all worse.
He does know Murr. I don't know, man. I think we should just stop talking about the Mavericks.
I agree. Yeah. I'm
down to talk Luka. I'm down to talk Lakers. But when it comes to what are the Mavs going to do, I don't care.
I mean, who's going to close for the Rangers this year?
There's some options. There's some interesting options out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm all about.
It might end up being lighter.
My life doesn't have to change.
Not lighter, but maybe rocky.
My life was trying to vision the players around Luka helping him to win that championship. So let's, like you said, let's break down that starting lineup. Let's take a look at, what we're doing off the bench.
Lively's still 21.
Not the Mavs lineup. I'm talking about the Lakers.
I know. I'm just saying I was so excited for
Yes.
For Lively, like
they
4,
would
5,
both
6
be here
years
for
of
10
Lively
years
together.
And what's funny is watching Luka on the Lakers. He'll kick to the corner and the guy will miss a three, and you're telling the Lakers like, no, see, these guys are gonna have wide open shots. You need a corner specialist. You need it. It's like we know the puzzle of Luka, and now they have to go figure it out on their own, kind of. But we were just so far down the road, and now it just starts over.
Well, I think Dallas still has plenty of players they could send over there.
What if we got LeBron back?
What if we got LeBron? No.
Somebody sent
that
me.
doesn't do it. No.
Somebody
Same with
sent me the other day.
KD would have been great 8 years ago.
Yeah, with Dirk. Somebody
LeBron
sent
and
me.
Bronny.
Somebody sent me the doomsday scenario of like, hey, how it's gonna go is eventually Kyrie's gonna get his way out there, and that's when Luka and Kyrie will just win together, hermanos in LA.
I mean, they don't do this anymore, but Karl Malone once took like a $1 million a year contract just to try to join the Lakers and chase a ring. I think Steve Nash took way low to go there and try to chase a ring.
Yeah, Gary Payton over there too.
That's right. It feels like that's not a thing anymore.
You don't see it.
Even LeBron and the Heatles, they all got maxed out, or maybe very close to it. Where it used to be thought, well, if they each take lesser value, then they can go. No, they were like, yeah, what if you just max us all out and just put a bunch of spares around us? We're going to be fine. And then they were.
Well, anyways, the Cowboys lost Jordan Lewis. That's no fun.
I know that was sports, but we need to
tell you about Early Bird CBD.
Oh, that's why we're doing this.
I need you to know about this. Earlybirdcbd.com. The promo code is DUMBZONE. That'll get you 20% off. These are not for your city worker, your federal employee. But let's say that Doge just cleaned out your job.
They're not for your city worker, federal employee, because it has THC.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to make that clear.
If you
THC, bros.
If you just got let go by Doge, hit up earlybirdcbd.com. These are nice. Nice for a little night out. Nice for relax. Watch a little TV. Early Bird CBD, put a smile on your face.
Take the edge off of a day. You ever do one of these, Blake?
Early Bird?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll double up.
Let's
kidding?
start with one. 2.5 milligrams THC in each one. Some folks, like Blake, prefer to take more. So, Austin-based company. They pride themselves on customer service. They will take care of you. They take care of us. Earlybirdcbd.com. The promo code is DUMBZONE.
Let's see the Cowboys stuff for today.
Solly Thomas.
Solly Thomas.
Solomon Thomas.
We're going with that?
Third overall pick. Not sure about this one, folks. Don't know that he's been good ever. Had a terrible PFF grade last year.
He's a body.
2-year deal.
They seem to be assembling bodies right now.
Don't know that he's really ever been good.
If he was not the third overall pick, he would not be in the league.
No. And they lost Chauncey Golston to the Giants. But Os is back.
Javonte Williams.
Always liked him.
Is a running back whose average per carry has gone down every year.
He was
and it wasn't
good in college, though. There's something there. It's honestly the type of guy. Now, again, much like with Pollard, I'd love to have a Javonte Williams and a Dowdle.
But the indications are Dowdle's now gone. This spells goodbye for Dowdle. And Dowdle seems like he's probably better than Javonte Williams. So it feels like a little bit of a downgrade. Javonte Williams probably better than Zeke. So you have upgraded your...
You're better than Zeke.
You have upgraded your second running back spot. But, yeah, that first day of free agency came and went with zero happening for the Cowboys.
Sig. That's about it.
Robert Jones is a guard.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Who's a person who now is on the team for 1 year. very low. Like these are all very depth moves.
Yeah.
And
well, Solomon Thomas is probably going to start, but
and that was just today.
Yeah. Yeah, Coppell guy. Always heard he's a really sweet dude, but just not only not been good as like a third overall pick, he's been a very average NFL player. Now Jordan Lewis has been an above average NFL player.
Ooh, they lost Jordan Lewis,
Jordan
man.
Lewis is headed to Jacksonville.
That sucks.
That does suck, especially because, I mean, when is Trayvon going to be ready? Halfway through the year?
If he plays here, yeah. I don't know.
So that's a problem. You got a lot of work to do there, man.
Yeah. Okay, so the additions right now, have the additions offset the subtractions thus far?
No, I mean, it's early, but you replace Chauncey with Solomon Thomas, although, the elephant in the room here is Mozzie because you did spend a first-round pick on a tackle, and now you're having to do all this musical chairs around Osa because Mozzie can't play.
Yeah.
And he's almost up. They got Linval Joseph still here at that spot, I guess. No, they haven't really done
Zach
much
Martin
of anything.
retired.
Yeah, and you're not really doing anything there either. Robert Jones, I guess, but no, they're gonna. They told us they're gonna have another boring ass off season.
Yeah, they re-signed a bunch of their own, special teams type free agents, but that's about it. So looming on the horizon, of course, is the Micah Parsons contract. Mm-hmm. So they did restructure both Dak and CD, I guess in moves that actually they didn't even have to work with Dak and CD, but hey, look, you can somehow miraculously just free up a bunch of cap space money. Didn't know you could just do that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I did know. They knew as well. They just always choose not to. Because if you choose not to, then you can just point to that and say, look, we can't make a move. So now they have. I got to imagine they're trying to sign Micah. It's very interesting because Micah has publicly stated that he would take a discount. I was reading, unless this is fake as well, that his agent is Deshaun Watson's agent.
I did know that.
And they're pretty famous for no discounts. Not that, any agent wants to be famous for giving discounts. But, they want to get the highest average per year. And then so Max Crosby and Myles Garrett now. Now Myles Garrett just signed $40 million a year guaranteed.
Insane.
I don't know if it's all guaranteed.
It's $40 a year and $123 if it's guaranteed. So that's 75% of it.
Okay.
For a 4-year deal.
So that is kind of a different deal as well because they still have Nick Chubb, right? He hasn't walked yet. But he's pretty much he's definitely the face of that franchise. And he held them up for this contract renegotiation because he was demanding a trade. Like, they need him to be on board for PR because he is beloved there. He can take off his helmet and smash an opposing quarterback in the head, and it doesn't matter. They love Myles. They love Myles Garrett.
They love him.
He's a big old. So yeah, he was able though to kind of. He said he wanted to trade. He wanted out. They need him to play nice. They're trying to. They're in such a. Didn't you think when they went 0-16, like this is rock bottom. This franchise can't get worse.
I mean, when I think of that, I think of Myles Garrett because last year, I want to say it was after Week 18. It might have been a couple weeks before the season ended. He was asked about that, and he's like, "This is way worse."
Yeah,
I was here for that
because you have Deshaun Watson now.
Yeah.
He's never going to play for the Browns again.
The crowd's booing him,
but he's still owed what, $80 million a year or something like that for the next few years. Like they can't. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And, yeah, they just thought that's a real PR nightmare. Plus, if he demands a trade, are other teams really going to be sending multiple first-round draft picks for Myles Garrett at this stage of his career? He's probably about to hit some serious decline.
Yeah, probably. And, it's an overpay, but like you said, they got to do it for PR reasons. But also, there's no reason they can't be good in a couple years. I know it seems unlikely, but I'm really digging this second tier of quarterback contracts. First of all, it feels like the NBA. To just look at my phone, I'm like, Justin Fields on the Jets? They gave him how much money? He played 6 games in Pittsburgh last year, and then kind of got benched when Russ was healthy. But I don't know, that's fun. Or Darnold, I look at the
100.
Seahawks, I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah, Seahawks
traded Metcalf, traded Geno
to
the Vegas
to Pete Carroll. Yeah,
yeah. So I don't know. But what I'm saying by mentioning that is that it's not crazy to think in a couple years, someone like Baker Mayfield could be available without having to have a franchise quarterback, and Myles Garrett could be on a good team. Like you see this. You see it with Darnold in Minnesota. You see it with Jameis able to win
So
games.
they're like when we watch Luka, boy, if we could just have a guy like that when they watch Baker.
Yeah.
Well, all we need
exactly
is
like
a
that.
Baker type.
Money around there.
Yeah. I wonder if they could have ever signed Baker to that deal in Cleveland. Probably not, right? Because if you're in Cleveland and you're going to,
it feels like you have to get the big deal.
Any starting quarterback that you retain seems to say, I now get to set the market again.
Yeah.
Which is, it's kind of like the Supermax versus the maxed out player. Like, it doesn't always fit, though. Like, did Dak fit to set the market again? Did, Kirk Cousins ever fit to set the market? No. But
Trevor Lawrence, I think, is another one that, at one point, you're like, okay. Now, I feel better about him than some of those others, but still. But, yeah, you're right, though, to point out. It does seem like you got to have a team in between.
Yeah.
Whether it was Cousins, whether it was Baker. Seen it a couple times now. And not only does it make me think the NFL is more interesting, it also gives me hope that maybe Dak won't be the Cowboys quarterback in 3 or 4 years. I'm fine with him for now. I just think, Dak in 3 or 4 years may be a tough watch.
Yeah, certainly in 3 or 4 years.
Is he on track to play week 1?
Boy, I would think so.
Are they looking at any? Well, I guess they would have jumped into this free agent market a little bit if they were looking to kind of upgrade from Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is a free agent too.
He'll be back. He'll be back because he's boring. They were made for each other. Nobody else wants him. He doesn't want to play anywhere else.
Cooper Rush and Brian Schottenheimer each think the other is the funniest guy they've ever met.
Well, it's fun. The NFL. Look at those Commanders, bro.
Man.
What are they doing?
They're so fun over there.
I saw they just made a big trade, too.
Yeah, they got LT Tunsil.
They got Laramie Tunsil. Gas mask. They got Debo. They added somebody else, too. Might have been another offensive lineman. But, yeah, I mean, they're doing what you do when you have a rookie quarterback contract.
Can you just be a Redskins fan now or a Commanders fan?
Can I?
Are you allowed to?
I can't switch 2 teams in 1 year. I'm still a Cowboy. I'm in on the Cowboys.
Because you're right, they are fun.
They're very fun. They got DQ, Cliffs over here, running around,
doing stuff.
Their owner's not.
What's their wide receiver room besides Scary Terry?
Debo? I don't know.
Oh yeah, Debo. That's right. They just added that.
But no, there's another one though that we're forgetting.
Did they lose Dwamie Brown?
No, they got the Force.
Noah Brown.
Didn't they have a receiver that got shot?
Running back.
Oh. Who was the white boy that got shot? Was he 49? Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, 49ers.
Okay. Anyways, go NFL.
Go NFL indeed. Should we work in a break?
Sure.
Or you got a handoff or something?
Well,
reduce my sale. I've only done 2 of them.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
Yeah, bro. Portland. We're not talking Portland right now, though. We are talking about our good friends at Elite Rides DFW. 1-844-RIDE-DFW. Hook up with a Sprinter van. What did we drive in? We've driven in some nice vehicles.
The Sprinter van is choice. I would recommend that for a big group, big night out. Like Dan said, 844-RIDE-DFW. You can download the app, the Elite Ride DFW app. They have an AI booking agent for Blake to yell at.
Mm-hmm.
Promo code's DZ15. That'll get you 15% off your first ride.
Oh, that's right. Another app.
I want my information.
Another AI app. This one gets you there on time every time, though.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to help you, man.
Good. Okay.
We call it Al.
But, so they don't have AI driving you. But your drivers are so cool, man.
Yeah.
I told you about a friend of mine who set up Elite Rides DFW to pick him up from the airport and picked him up at 10 p.m. The driver just offered, want to make a food stop? Went out of his way a little bit to just get them some bueno.
Feels like pretty elite.
Yeah. Free water. You
Yeah.
get in the car. I don't know if it's like as much as you can drink. At least a couple of bottles, though.
Tell them we sent you. The promo code is DZ15
Oh,
for 15% off your first ride. Tell Jesse we said hey.
No
I got one quick one for you. The Rangers tried to sell a new hat.
I saw that.
It's a bad hat on its own. And what it was a hat that said Texas across the front. But where the X would be in the middle of Texas, there was simply another big T for Texas over the X. It's not a good hat.
So what does Tatas mean?
Titties.
Oh, okay.
Titties. Yeah.
Tatas means titties.
Uh-huh. Or tits.
I'll wear that hat.
When I was in Mexico, I was telling them about, like, my brothers. When I lived there in the early 90s for college, I was telling them about my the only Mexican restaurant I had really been to was in Cleveland, and it was called Chi-Chi's, and they all thought that was funny because they said that meant tits.
Yeah, but I mean, like any self-respecting culture and language, they have several names.
Okay.
Just like we do.
Jugs.
Yeah.
Bazoombas.
What
Give
else?
Sweater puppies.
Give me a word for
I don't know why, but I really like sweater puppies and sweater meat.
Sweater meat's a good one.
It's so
meat feels.
It's just so debasing to a woman. It's just like fucking sweater meat.
That's what it's all about. Verbally debasing a woman, not physically.
No, but they tried to sell these hats, and of course they quickly were told not to. But
none of them look good.
Have you seen the Anaheim Angels one? Or the Angels one? It's not Anaheim anymore, are they?
No, what does it look like?
It looks like it says anal.
Because it covers up the G and some of the E.
Yeah.
Now, this, of course, calls to mind some years ago, I think 2017, when the Rangers were going to let their players select jersey names for a day.
Damn.
We were going to have a custom jersey day.
What a pull this is.
And Alex Claudio, his jersey said Chomo, which I had actually heard, not from my time in prison, but just I'd heard that term before. It's child molester. So they had to ask Mr. Claudio to
pick a new one.
Pick a new name. And yeah, I looked at Evan's replies, and like the first 5 are like, I ordered this when it was up. Am I getting it? I want my titty set.
Can't get it anymore?
No.
That's too bad. Yeah, the Chomo thing, so that'd be like the opposite of what the NBA was doing during the pandemic.
Right, yeah.
Like just put the worst thing you can as far as your name.
Can I tell you something I was laughing about over the weekend? So, I was talking to my buddy about, because we had quite the drinking career together over the years. And I told him like, hey, I go to AA, and it's not totally for me, but I like it. And there's people. Basically, when you get into recovery, it's very common that people find a thing they get obsessed with. Motorcycles, skydiving, fitness, something like that.
Podcasting.
Being just a great friend.
Good dad. Yeah.
But we were just joking around about a guy who gets really he gets a jet ski, or he gets motorcycles, or he gets really into gardening, but he's really into it. That's a very common thing. And we were laughing about like how far you could push the conventions of mental health, and being like, dude, I don't drink at all anymore. Like, I don't even think about it. What are you into? I mean, not like a lot, but I'm like sort of just dabbling in child porn. And your buddy's like, what? You're like, but not drinking at all. Like, I don't even think about it. In fact,
okay,
I think I like this more.
Good. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, you shouldn't really be doing that kind of thing, Well, I mean, it's going to make me drink again.
Yeah, no, I guess you won't be drinking. I mean, this is kind of a harmless crime.
Yeah, I don't really.
Haven't actually met any kids, so I guess if you're.
Kind of tomato here, bud.
Getting all over me for my recovery plan. But Titas, go Rangers. Now, what happened in high school basketball? Why is this on my run sheet?
Boy, this was kind of all over Twitter.
Should we save it for tomorrow? Just because we have so much. I don't know. I'm just looking at the time now.
We got shows, baby.
You want to save it for tomorrow?
Sure.
Let's save it for tomorrow because we want to hear Portland talk, don't we?
We do.
And we got the news and stuff. So, Portland talk brought to you by Bear Fight Whiskey, and a little weekend check, too.
Oh, he's taking his headset off.
Okay. He's going back there behind his desk.
I don't think your bear would be in here.
Probably has to. Oh, my God.
Oh, he got one. What? That was not what I was expecting.
Okay, so Bear Fight Whiskey.
All right.
Yeah. How does this work?
Dan has a bear costume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a big one.
Yeah.
Thanks to.
It's like a big fur coat. That's a bear.
Thanks to good listener Houston, who I met yesterday.
Look at his claws.
In Carrollton, I believe. Took a drive over. Yes, he hooked me up with a bear costume for Bear Fight Whiskey. And look on our social media thing for Bear Fight Whiskey stuff coming soon with me wearing a Bear Fight Whiskey costume. Anyway, not only did I get this costume this weekend, but went to bearfightwhiskey.com and looked at the recipes there. And so we actually broke out a little bit of Bear Fight Whiskey, made a nice bourbon margarita.
Ooh.
What do you think of that?
Okay.
Had a little smoky taste.
Nice.
Yeah. Wonderful. So we implore you to check out Bear Fight Whiskey. If whiskey's not usually my game, but this is fantastic. So bearfightwhiskey.com is where you can buy some bottles and support your friends at the Dumb Zone. And, get a little Bear Fight Whiskey for yourself.
Rawr, rawr.
Exactly.
All right. So, yeah, I went to Portland, had a couple.
Take it off.
I'm taking it off.
Is it too hot? Because the swag is, like, amazing.
It's warm.
Okay.
It's actual bear. You ever see, what's that movie with the guy that they actually put him in a real bear and then they burn him? No one? Check the chat.
Grizzly Man?
No.
Check
There's
the chat.
Nicolas Cage. No, it's not Nicolas Cage. Oh, that's Wicker Man. A guy puts on they actually kill a bear. They put the guy in a bear costume. And
the Revenant.
They wrap the actual bear and then they burn him in a barn. It's like a
sort of RFK journey is
Midsummer.
Midsummer.
It's wonderful.
Like
Great movie. Very good. Who's the director? Does it say?
No.
Okay, you're just looking at the thing. Anyway.
If you see me in a bear in a fight, pour whiskey on me, so.
There you
go.
I like that. So I had a couple friends who moved up to Portland. They're about the same age. They do not have kids, and they do not intend to have kids. So they were kind of at a point of like, she's works in accounting. She can find a job pretty much anywhere. He found a job up there, so why not? Just do it.
It's funny when you meet people like that, and then you think of your life. And you wonder, and obviously, obviously, this is the old Louis C.K. bit. But, like, obviously, I love my kids and blah, 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 blah. But you do start to wonder, how much more money would you have? How many more, you would not have more experiences. Maybe you just be having different experiences. But they certainly...
It's different.
It is alluring. Like, it's just like alluring to think, well, what if you never got married? Yeah.
It's all very alluring.
Yeah, everything's alluring. Everything that you don't have is alluring.
So they moved up there a couple years ago. We hadn't been up yet. So we went up there, and it was nice. They live about 10 minutes from downtown. We got in late Friday night. My journey actually starts at the airport. I went to the bathroom, as I'll do at the airport, and I heard a conversation taking place in the stall next to me. Guy was on the phone. Okay.
Okay. Why are you doing that?
You'll find out why.
Okay.
But I am giving everyone a trigger warning. The next minute of audio you're going to hear was recorded in a men's bathroom at DFW, so there's some bathroom sounds in here.
You can do that?
Well, he's not drinking anymore, so.
Oh.
Do you guys think I can?
What?
Play this?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. Blake's being a pussy about it.
Just recording someone's conversation and replaying it?
Maybe they shouldn't have had that conversation next to a guy with
in public.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to make out, but you'll be able to hear it. And you're definitely real early here going to hear hand dryer sounds and a fart.
Okay.
That was a fart.
Well, damn.
You hear the word that just happened?
No.
He said it's a domino, and if it happens, it changes the draft. Now, I started recording about 30 seconds after this guy had started talking. He's talking draft on the toilet.
NFL draft.
Yeah. He is either someone with a team, a player, or what I think becomes clear later, someone who works in media.
But it doesn't change the draft in the event of the Browns. Because the Browns do it.
This is gross. This is gross to listen to.
He's like, it doesn't change the draft in the event that the Browns take a quarterback, and he's just pissing.
So if the Browns want to push the rule, everything is still standing.
He's in a stall?
Yeah. Like it really all comes down to the Browns. And where did you stand in today's segment?
What about the person on the other line that can hear him peeing?
He's not doing an interview, is he?
No, but right now he switched. This is why I think he's media. Is he switches to what did you think about today's segment about a premier pass rusher? This guy's taking a dump.
And where did you stand in today's segment? A good quarterback is better than that.
All right, I don't want to hear this anymore. This is bothering me.
I warned you.
Well, that doesn't make it better.
He just sat there and talked football. He was like, boy, the dominoes that fall, though, because if Shadur goes there, he's like, there's going to be a run on receiver. And this guy's just taking a dump.
Did you book him?
Didn't book him. Thought about waiting.
What if that's the only place he does his hits?
He's got to book a flight, go back to the airport.
But magically, he becomes an expert when he gets in that stall. Like it's this NFL expert stall.
Yeah.
That's a Twilight Zone.
Kids movie type thing. Got the noisy seat on the plane. You ever had that?
What does that mean? Near the back?
No, it means that if you move in your seat, it makes a noise. It's really annoying.
Well, I wear the noise-canceling headphones.
Yeah, and I'm not too worried about it, but I certainly noticed that it was loud.
Yeah, the big guy in front of you that the second they allow you to, he pulls
I just
that
take
seat.
that as that's just par for the course. If it doesn't happen, then you're happy about it.
How's a run the ball guy like that?
The plane's not a good place for run the ball guy.
No, I can't imagine. So here's the thing about Portland. It is definitely in that running for most liberal, and really it's not even liberal, it's leftist big city in the country. Of course, during like George Floyd, and really up until a couple of years ago, maybe even like a year ago, they had like an ever-present protest downtown. They had effectively taken over a couple city blocks. It just wouldn't leave. Then it would get violent. There would be these clashes, and it's a bad scene.
Minnesota was the place where they did the shame walk for their mayor, though, right? That wasn't Portland.
Yeah, I think that's right.
That was hilarious.
It was very funny.
You would think Portland might have tried something like the Amsterdam thing on The Wire.
They kind of have.
Have they?
Yeah, and that's where you're going to run into a lot of the conclusions I have here, which is like, I hate to do this for the don't talk politics crowd, but like I have my beliefs in like a high social safety floor, like don't die if you get sick and some other things, but I would not want to live there. Like one of the first stories that they were telling me when we're just shooting the S on Friday night is, so my buddy works in schools. He used to be a teacher in Fort Worth, and now he sells equipment in schools. And one of their good friends had moved there from Texas, who was a teacher. She made it a month. And here's why. I asked him, I was like, so what do you got here? Like, what's the percentage demographically? Like, is mostly whites or what? He's like, yeah, the Portland main school district is mostly white. It's over 50% white. And I'm like, so what are we dealing with here? We got like white trash whites, or they're fights, or what? He's like, no, it's not really fights. It's more like if there's a kid having a meltdown or an issue, rather than remove that kid, they'll remove everyone else and let him finish his little tantrum. Like their whole thing that we joke about like everybody's a unique little snowflake and don't bother anyone and don't hurt anyone's feelings. They take that to an alarming degree, to where it just messes up school. Like there's no, hey, why don't you
that's
sit
just
your
the
ass down?
prevailing culture that
Yeah.
everybody somehow subscribes to?
Enough to where there's just no discipline. Like nobody gets in trouble. So they just do whatever they want all the time.
Free range children.
Like pretty much. And this woman, look, she's a woman who moved from Texas to Portland. It's not like any of my friends get their cell service from Patriot Mobile. This woman's a left of center person, and she's teaching there for a month. She's like, fuck, no,
Sucks.
This is not how you. There's a problem where you become so consumed with that feeling shit that you can't get anything done. And like my buddy, pretty far left guy, but I knew when he moved there that he was, he's like, this is insane. Like, yeah, I believe these things, but I also still think you should be able to run a city, and they can't. He was telling me some other notes about how the city runs. Of like, there's a building that he said he passes on his run, and it's blighted. It's a old building.
What's blighted mean?
It's you can't use it. Okay. It's not condemned to be like, it's boarded up, like it's a piece of trash.
Yeah.
And he's like, why is this building just sitting here? It's like in this nice neighborhood. It doesn't make any sense. And so he started looking into it. And I think it might have been a church like 150 years ago. So despite tons of interest from commercial builders to the city, they're like, no. It's history. He's like, it's a piece of shit. It's a building that's sitting in the middle of a neighborhood
So it's super old, but it sucks.
It's super old. Nobody's using it for anything. And there have been proposals to, I don't know, there might be a witch there. But they're like, there are no, I don't believe any Walmarts. We saw one Starbucks the whole time we were there.
That's weird.
You're not going to see a McDonald's.
I equate that to the Northwest.
I know,
so
right?
why? I mean, they
don't deal
They can
with,
say we are not going to allow big box stores here?
You can say it, but also you can set the tone to where those companies know there's just no point because nobody likes it.
They're not going to get a tax break?
No. And also,
because Because some companies will put their Amazon warehouse somewhere
just for that.
They get
Obviously,
Not some
you've
companies,
seen on the
Amazon,
news.
that company will
Yeah.
do the Amazon warehouse.
Theft. Out of control.
Really?
Out of control. Like, to go into a Target, you have to walk through like a cage. There's a cage around the front of the building. And I was talking to Kat, Wade's wife, and she was like, I don't even like going grocery shopping. She was like, I do an online order, and I pick it up. Because to go into a grocery store, there's armed guards everywhere. There's armed guards at the front of the store. There's a metal detector. You do have to go through like a cage type thing. He said that the Apple store downtown, they built a literal cage over it because the whole thing, it's like a glass cube. And
So what, like after hours? You mean
all the time?
Okay.
People will just smash the glass, and it's this whole we joke around about like F corporations, well, whatever, but they live it. And they see Apple or Nike, and they're like, F your profits. Like, you got slaves. They're living the way that if you took everything super literal, and you're like, well, I don't like slaves. Nike has slaves. Well, there's their store. I'm going to burn it down. I asked him if they had any Republicans on their city council, and he was like, dude, we have one guy who's like a Democrat, like a Joe Manchin, like old school Democrat, and like that guy can't appear anywhere without being called a fascist. He's like, no, we don't have Republicans. There are 1 billion strip clubs, big strip club city.
Interesting.
And they do it. It's kind of like artsy, right? Like, so you'll have strip clubs that are kind of like the one that I went to in Montreal, where it's like classy, and you might run into a lot of like boudoir, like gothy type. Dan would be in heaven. But it's like strip clubs that feel kind of artsy. So much so that one of them that I saw a billboard for and then subsequently looked into, Casa Diablo, is Portland's only vegan strip club. Which seems like something from Portlandia. Like, it's that stereotypical. And when you think about...
they're all kind of pescatarian, right?
Hey.
Thanks, man.
Right.
Thanks, guys.
But so you think of like, the stereotypical conversations that would take place, and you're like, there's no way it's just... it's not like you go sit down somewhere in Texas and we're actually talking about horses and cattle trading. But like, we were at a coffee shop waiting to get our coffee Saturday morning, and there's a guy talking to his friend, and he's like, yeah, they wouldn't know Punk if it hit him in the face. Like, that band's a bunch of posers. And I'm like, that's what I thought you'd be saying. You're just sitting around on Saturday morning talking about how somebody else isn't punk enough. On the theft thing, Nike, who of course is in Beaverton, so they're everywhere in Portland, but Nike they closed down one store, their main retail store, because it was getting robbed all the time. So they opened something called the Nike Community Store, which was supposed to be like, let me actually read it was Nike's commitment to supporting and uplifting Portland's North and Northeast community is unwavering. So they had put this place up. It was going to do a lot of community involvement. It was supposed to be like a Nike store for the community that they would take care of. Shut in like 3 months. Not opening back up. They just destroyed it. Like, people just throw bricks through the glass, steal shit, and that's it.
That's sad. This is all sad to me. I would want...
Okay, so I'll tell you
my
this.
My utopia is that
it's a beautiful...
people just treat each other like they want to be treated and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know.
There's nothing... That doesn't exist anywhere?
Well, I do think it's a beautiful place. There's a lot to do. People are friendly, but they're not Texas friendly. But that's like... You have to know that's an outlier down here. I've talked to enough people now that have moved.
What do you mean? What's an outlier?
People are just friendlier here. Regardless of the politics and, like, if you need to get an abortion. But people here are genuinely and generally friendlier than in other cities. We started walking around in a downtown area, and there was a bookstore, not Pal's, but another bookstore, And we started to walk in there. There was a bunch of old women in there. But they're like old Portland women. I don't know how to describe it. But a lot of Subarus being driven. A lot of moms in shorts that are kind of down to their knees. Just not a lot of sexiness for Portland women. So we walked in, and a lady stopped us at the door, an older lady, and she was like, hey, we're not closed. You guys can come in, but hope you can deal with a group of knitters on a knitter crawl. We were like, what?
What?
And we go in, and we're like, what's this? They sell yarn? And they sell yarn. So what we have here...
The bookstore.
Actually, what she said I screwed this joke up. She was like, at the bookstore, they sell yarn. She was like, we have a bunch of yarners in here. They're on a yarn crawl.
Okay.
And I was like, yarner? And I kind of walked in and looked. They're just knitting. And I'm like, did you guys just determine that knitters is too close?
Oh.
And you call yourself yarners?
Funny.
Because they're just knitting.
Yeah.
But she didn't say.
I feel like that would be the reason.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
But so these women were, in fact, on a yarn crawl where they were just going to different stores that sell yarn. Like a pub crawl.
Well, that seems great.
That's Portland for you.
A lot of homeless, right?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot. And see, that's another thing, too. Like, I talked to my buddy about it, and he's like, they're not even close to dealing with it.
Dirty?
No. Not really dirty.
Just the city. Okay, no.
Not really dirty. But they don't do anything to try to house people. It's just as bad there as it is in.
Well, that's interesting.
I know.
I thought
I don't
we're
know.
all liberal and stuff.
Wade's general take was like these people get nothing done. Like they will get this or that passed for some historic thing or that, but like they don't get anything done.
So they're all like early 20s stoners.
Or that never grew out of that.
Yeah.
But then, you just walk up to a park, like a neighborhood park, or it feels like a neighborhood park where people are just taking their kids on a Sunday afternoon, and it's just full of 200-foot trees. Like your basic city park is the prettiest thing you're going to see that day. And then we went to the Gorge, which is like there's a mountain there. Went hiking all day. You're super close to Seattle. Well, not a few hours, but you can get to a lot of different places. It's a beautiful, beautiful place and really cool. It's just they're kind of doing their own thing. We tried to order pizza last night or 2 nights ago, and the place we called, it was like 7 o'clock. They're like, we're out of everything. And we were like,
out of everything.
How does that happen? And they're like, this is super common. Like, places here just open when they want to be open. They close when they want to close.
Huh.
It was a Sunday night pizza place, and they're like, yeah, we're pretty much out of everything. They're definitely kind of just doing their own thing up there.
And certainly not big on sports. I know I've told you in the past, got a buddy who went right out of college and moved to Portland, and he was real surprised because he lived in a suburban neighborhood and would want to go out and throw the football around with the boys. When you're drinking some beers, cul-de-sac or whatever. Hey, let's grab a football and we'll just throw it. And the guys, like he said, he would throw a football and it would like hit him in the face. Like they were not athletically inclined at all. But if one of the guys in the neighborhood said, "Hey, you want to have a jam session?" Like they all got an instrument, they'll all go meet in your garage, and all of a sudden you're playing tunes within a half hour. But they can't do anything athletic. Like they've just grown up in that. I would imagine high school football is not the same there.
No.
Like they do not put an emphasis on athletics at all.
No, I remember I saw one high school football stadium and it was tiny. But no, it's not a thing.
They're not putting public funds. That's the thing, though. You think, okay, cool. I think that would be good for society, that you don't just put everything into sports and public funding a $50 million football stadium for your high school team and all this, because you could funnel that, you could use that money correctly. But you're saying that they are not. What are they doing with the money? They're not using it correctly. They're
No, I mean they've got a
there is no greatest homeless shelter ever that we figured out the homeless problem. Like we care about it, or we figured out the drug problem because we care about it. We're going to treat it as it should be.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's what's happening. They do have a lot of parks. They have a whole lot of parks everywhere you turn.
But the
Green
beauty
space.
was already there. It isn't like
Yeah.
they had to do something to create the beauty. And then how does that place turn into that?
I don't know. Yeah, I was joking too on the people being nice thing. Tell me how embarrassing this would be. But so again, they have no kids. They'll go out a few nights a week, have a few beers, go to trivia, go to comedy, go to music. And you're trying to meet people, And my buddy said, he's like, yeah, people at home are definitely friendlier. He's like, I went to the local bar one afternoon, talked to a guy for a little while, had a couple beers with him. And I was like, yo, I live around here. Like, if you live around here, let me get your number. The guy goes, no. And then we kind of glossed over that in conversation. I was like, wait, did you just tell me that you asked a bro for his number and he cock-blocked your digits? I can't say that I've ever had that happen to me. It's a very vulnerable moment to start with.
Yeah,
like, hey, bro,
he said
I feel
no?
like we're vibing. Yeah, the guy was like, no. Like, okay, well.
That's really weird.
I was like, you, who I've always thought was like the coolest, hipsterest guy in the world, is just a basic up here.
Damn.
How do you think Blake would fare? Handoff in Portland for a week?
Poorly.
We should do a week there just to see. Let's take our tour. We're taking a Texas tour later this month.
Oh, by the way, your phone has a motion sickness app now. Do you guys know about that?
What do you mean?
Like it's native to the phone. You just go to settings. You can turn on motion sickness, and it works.
What do you mean? How does it affect you?
If you look at your phone when you're in a plane or you're in a car, I get sick. But they did something to the screen. You'd have to see it to where they put these dots on there, and it like moves with your eyes.
And it works.
If you're a motion sickness sufferer.
Huh.
And that's today's.
Today in Portland.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
Let's start here.
Brought to you by Fairlease. Thanks, Fairlease.
Brought to you
for
by
doing the news today.
Fairlease. Check them out at fairlease.org. Wild police chase. Went through Fort Worth, Hearst, Grapevine, with a bit of a twist. So Fort Worth police got a call last night around 6 o'clock from someone who said that someone they knew came to their house and said that he had harmed his roommate. So the police respond to that, and the suspect was gone. Shortly after that, they see the suspect's vehicle on the road, and there's a police chase that lasts 40 minutes. 20-plus police cars comes to an end at the Hearst Lowe's on Grapevine Highway. I don't know if that's the preferred business call Lowe's or if you're more of a South Lake Boulevard guy, but
I'll go South Lake Boulevard, but I have been to that one walking around this winter because I couldn't go back to the same place day after day.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
So, yeah, then I'd be like, all right, well, we'll get Mama's Pizza tonight, and I'll...
Ooh.
Because that's down there, right?
So the police throw out the spike strips. The suspect runs him over. And they're like, all right, we got you. Where do you live? Let's go check your house. Well, they go to his house and find a 28-year-old woman dead. So on the run for...
Should have lied about where his house was.
For a good reason, yeah. Are you guys aware that from the makers of Gulf of America that a few weeks ago Dan Patrick tried to get not of the Danettes and McLovin, the Texas Dan Patrick put forth, I guess, a bill that we would call the New York Strip the Texas Strip?
I saw something like that. Like,
yeah.
Everything's insane. This is like freedom fries.
Freedom fries were awesome. What else were there?
The steak?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that do?
Well, it makes people know that it came from Texas.
It owns them.
Well,
You're owning them Yankees.
A restaurant owner in Albany, New York, is suing the state of Texas.
I did see where the Canadians are saying it's no longer called an Americano.
The coffee?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Homos.
I saw TC's tweet that he had his VPN on and he accidentally went on Reddit while he was logged in Canada and was like, whoa, they do not like America.
What do you mean?
You know, the whole trying to take them over thing.
I don't understand with the VPN and all that.
TC's VPN was in Canada.
He just got a Canadian version of
So
Reddit.
He got on Reddit and every post
the
is just
algorithm
about,
was.
Yeah.
I see. What's
So
he doing
anyways,
with a VPN?
What?
Oh,
watching porn.
Okay.
Well, there's a billion uses.
Are there really besides porn?
Yeah.
Here's the guy that uses a VPN for porn saying it's not just for porn.
No, honey, I just
want to watch the Rangers.
I was gonna leak some documents. I have no idea. Anyways, this guy in New York is suing. Basically, this is just someone else who's like, I could get myself in the news because Dan Patrick got himself in the news.
Oh, so it's
He's
and
a
his
New York
restaurant is in the news.
Yeah, there you go.
They're going to go there and order his New York strip steak.
That's right.
Sweet.
Do you guys see Xavier Worthy got arrested over the weekend?
Did he choke somebody?
Feels like, did you say misunderstanding? That's what I heard.
That's how he got arrested over a misunderstanding?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, his lawyers say that he'd been trying to kick this woman out for a while and that she refused to vacate the residence and was trying to extort him. But, yeah.
I got one of them who won't vacate the residence.
He was charged with impeding breath.
Right? Yeah, right. Choking.
That's not
Yeah.
choking. You've just impeded breath. That's awesome.
Intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly impeding normal breathing. God, the laws are so stupid.
Recklessly.
It's just all written, and you're like, I guess that
Well, there's a
means
way
that.
to do it not recklessly. That's a sex thing, Blake.
Go on. What do you do?
You never did a little light choking?
No.
I don't mind being choked.
Just a little, lose a little blood flow into the head.
And after 54 years, Southwest Airlines announced today that bags will no longer fly free.
That hurts.
It's been the policy since their founding in 1971.
Well, you remember my bit. You should only pay for baggage that you carry on to the flight. They have it backwards. You pay to put it under but no one wants to do that. No one wants to wait for their baggage. So bags should fly free unless you bring it into the cabin.
Do you have to pay for a backpack?
No. If it can fit in the seat in front of you, under the seat, then no. But if you have to use an overhead bin, just because the overhead bins get so full.
Yeah.
But now people are going to be trying to shove suitcases under your seat because they're going to try to not pay.
Look, I don't need run the ball guy getting
And
upset
that'll be
with
a
every
whole
one of my
thing.
great
How
ideas.
did they go from
And now
2
boarding
bags
will
to
take
none?
forever.
Shouldn't they have just gone to 1 bag?
1 bag free? Yeah, why not?
Now, you still will get 2 if you're A-list royalty, and Southwest credit card holders will still receive 1 free checked bag. Which I do believe I have that credit card, and it just kind of sits there. So,
Are they still going to do the herd mentality getting on the plane? Because I thought that was kind of part of the... You're going to get bags free, but you're going to have this.
It's not listed. Oh, yeah, it is. Sorry. It's not in effect, but they will be ending that.
Really? Back to assigned seats, too.
Mm-hmm. And you can also find Southwest on all the websites now, which was previously kind of a pain in the butt. Your Travelocities of the world. What else was there besides Freedom Fries?
Well, you couldn't get Southwest on that?
Mm-mm.
Why?
I don't know.
Different computer system.
And like when you go to Google Flights, It won't show up, right?
Yeah, a completely different backend. You couldn't search it. Like companies wouldn't let you book Southwest for corporate flights because they couldn't access. You had to do it directly on their website.
Well, who knew?
You guys ready for Firefest 2?
What?
Is that real? I saw a thing.
Well, Billy McFarland, who you may remember.
Is he the guy that went to jail for
He
Fyre
did go to
Fest 1?
jail. He did go to jail. He says that he is selling tickets to a Firefest 2 and swears it'll be different.
Well, you got to give the guy a lot of credit for plowing forward and really for realizing we've got excellent name recognition on this bid.
Yeah, it worked out. Now, we only have one confirmed performer so far. And that, of course, recent Joe Rogan guest, Antonio Brown.
What's he going to do?
He raps.
Oh, really?
I've seen him do it before. He had one song. It was really bad. Really not good at all.
That's too bad.
Good dance, though.
Yeah, he was on Rogan. I had big Rogan dreams for my flights. Like he was on, Schultz was on, Andrew Schultz was on. He's got a new special. And I didn't really listen to any of it. I mean, what can AB really say?
What'd you do on the flight? I always have big plans, too. Bring lots of books, lots of this. And
I do a pretty good job of it. So
I like working on a flight.
I do nothing but that. Like, I pay for the Wi-Fi as quick as I can. You'll get an email from me 8 months later.
What does that mean?
Just I'll save emails when I get them, and I'm like, this looks like it requires a longer response, and then I'll do them on a plane.
Oh, okay.
Way later. But I'll try to work on the plane. Just being
like
honest
you're
with
stuck
you,
there, and you
it's
just
definitely different not being able to drink. So on the way out, I brought like a huge iced coffee. Like I wanted something that I could constantly. Brought my own water. I never really prepare for flights, but this time I brought like snacks. I brought my own extra water bottle, 2 extra waters, a huge coffee.
Well, I never did a lot of drinking on the plane.
Oh, it's the best.
I think only once, and it was with Corby.
Of course.
It's the best.
Got hammered.
Get the lady, because quickly, I'd say about half those flight attendants are lushes themselves, and they ID you pretty quick.
Yeah.
So you pay for the first one, and then they come by and they give you like the little, don't worry about it, dude. And they just feed you a couple more, and you're like, I wasn't going to order those, don't need them, but now they're in my hand. But yeah, I don't know. I tried to like do breathing exercises, and then I read a lot. My wife will just watch 2 movies. Like, that ain't my game at all. Just
Did
not
you
for
watch
me.
other people's movies that
I can review
put the
Nora
sound down?
for you.
Okay.
It's about a hooker.
Okay.
And there's some dispute over whether or not she actually got married or not to this guy that was paying her. My wife watched it. Oscar worthy for sure.
Isn't this your bit, though? You can
Yeah.
watch a movie with you don't hear the sound.
I like it. I like watching 1 row over 3 rows up and just getting a feel for Thor Ragnarok.
Is it?
Never seen it.
Isn't there a bunch of nudity in that?
Yeah.
Did she skip or did
Yeah.
just
I
let
looked
it fly?
over a couple times and she was scrubbing. And I was like, is this the hooker movie?
Here's one that I didn't remember from the time. Like Freedom Fries. This ice cream was called I Hate the French Vanilla.
Yeah, it was a fun time, man.
It's a
I'm
good
sure
one.
there's a bunch of them. All right, there's your news.
The
Oh, this is a good one.
News, like,
Chalk and awe.
subscribe.
It's a play on the shock and awe tactics of the search.
Qualis Roofing brings us today in history today. They are kind of a foundational sponsor.
They do roofing, not foundations, right?
Which is odd.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very ironic because they will deal with your roof like they have here at my house. They have replaced my roof. One of the great things about Qualis is, if you have roof damage, you already know you're going to need a new roof, and they will deal with the insurance company for you. It's always lots of calls back and forth, this and that.
Forms.
We ended up paying nothing out of pocket, just the deductible. That's all we ended up having to pay for. But, call Qualis Roofing. Apparently, they say that you should get, just a roof inspection now and again. I don't know that we ever did that. Probably could have saved us some money in the long run had we done that. But Qualis Roofing is the one that you want to call or check out on internet at QualisGC.com. If you get a roof inspection, they'll just give you a Dumb Zone t-shirt for free. And if you end up getting a roof through Qualis, they will pay for a sit-in where you can sit in studio or here at the Den for free as well. 817-500-9008. Great dudes at Qualis Roofing.
The Dumb Zone presents Today in
So the chat gave us a bunch of nicknames for boobs.
Oh, okay.
We've got hoo-hoos, num-nums, meat balloons, up-tops, twins, mammary mounds, fun bags, mama bears, milkers, sweater hams, udders, bazoombas, fun bags, and hood ornaments.
I like hood ornaments.
Read the one again that had the word mounds as the last one.
Mammary mounds? Is that misspelled?
Mammary? No, it's mammary.
Mammary mounds?
Like the mammary gland. Mammary. You can't read.
No, I can't.
Can't even read. What if we do some viewer mail birthdays to start? This is one of the only direct messages I've ever gotten on Substack.
I'll get a SS message every now and then.
But Ty says, it is my birthday. This was March 10th. I am some convoluted algebraic jersey number formula that equals 49 years old. More established the run, Blake. I'm glad Jake exercised his demons in his back. More Soroy. Long sods are fine with me. From Ty. Dear Episioplaster. In parentheses, someone that does surgery on abnormal vulvas.
Whoa.
What's a vulva?
It feels like the
Car,
part that
right?
pokes out.
Something down there, right? Pokes out? It's all hanging there like ramen?
It's like the outside part.
Ramen noodle? It is my Dirk minus Jason Tatum birthday.
Like, I didn't think it was possible to describe the female anatomy in a way that made it grosser to me. Now I'm like, ramen.
If you ever see some ramen noodle hanging down there, you'll know what I mean.
I think that means stay away.
You'll know what I mean. Well, you're already there. You just get the little flavor pack, sprinkle it on there, and you're
salt.
good. Yeah. Anyway, I had a Little People gift delivered to the Dragon Den. My 18-month-old loves these, so I thought maybe you would too. This came in the snail mail. Little People.
When she said a Little People gift, I thought we were getting one.
Yeah. Here's
our very own.
This is little collectibles, I guess. The Boys.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
The Boys. Right there's Homelander. There's Starlight.
Yeah.
Queen Maeve. Anyway. Ooh, Jack. I think that's his name in the show. I don't remember the name of the show. Anyway, the point is, it is Jason's birthday. He says, I'd like to add to the ant off a building discourse.
Okay.
There's a height off of which a house cat will survive because it can right itself. Not an experiment. They don't throw cats off higher and higher heights and compare injuries. Just a collection of cats that have accidentally fallen off balconies in cities with skyscrapers, presumably to honor their leader, Eric Clapton's son.
Oh, my God.
The magic height is approximately 7 stories. Anything 7 and higher, they have a chance to relax and prepare for landing and spread out like a squirrel, a flying squirrel. Under 7, they're tense and freaked out and have more injuries than over 7. Similar to how drunk people survive car crashes better because they're relaxed, like a crash test dummy, and not tense and freaking out before impact.
This checks out.
Yeah, so he says, my leaders are IJ Bree and riding the Taurus, Jason, who is at Greaso.
Oh, long time OG. Yeah, this is interesting. 7 stories.
Uncle Gutbuster, today, March 10th, the 30th birthday of my younger brother, Brian.
Bry.
His leaders are Dan, Blake, Jake, and somebody named Jub. His bleeders are Julie and Caitlin, if, in fact, lesbians do have periods.
People.
Please play a no puppet drop
Shocked to learn.
of your choice in celebration. That is from Jameson. You guys know Jameson?
The Great.
No puppet.
Yeah, he gives us granola.
It's
He
fire
does give us granola. And this one just came in during the program. Dear Pundit of the Poon, Sunday was my birthday. Let's see. Sorry for busting your casting couch. Hopefully the swords and the gay frog shirt made up for it. Sex for points is my leader. More Julie, more Ted Emmerich, baby arm. Always punt. F Nico, love you boys from DF Darren. Do you remember Darren?
Yeah, he gave us swords.
Hell yeah. That Darren Pope?
Yeah.
That sword is so nice.
Depot? Elsewhere. Today is Tuesday, March 11th. On this day in 1918, the first confirmed United States cases of a deadly global flu pandemic were reported. The outbreak of influenza claimed 20. Okay, so they estimate the worldwide outbreak claimed 20 to 40 million lives. I would think you could narrow that down a little better, even in 1918.
Yeah, but
that's a very big sample size.
Yeah, but people who were dying of like starvation, they just said had influenza.
That's exactly what it was.
So it's kind of hard to tell. The numbers are a little off.
I saw a guy get hit by a Model T. They wrote influenza right there on his body.
On this day in the year 2020, the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus outbreak a pandemic. That made it real. On the same day is when the NBA suspended its season until further notice after a Utah Jazz player. Who was that?
Rudy Gobert.
Oh, that's right. He was the one that touched all the mics like the week prior, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's coughing on his hands.
On this very same day is when Tom Hanks said he and his wife Rita had tested positive in Australia. And on the very same day, Harvey Weinstein sentenced to 23 years in prison for the whole for raping.
We're just going to gloss over what else happened in the NBA that night?
Was that the very day that Boban went for 30-something?
31-17.
Drained a 3 to end the game?
Couldn't be stopped. Just bodying Jokic. He was held to 14
Where's Boban?
points. Not.
Retired?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's retired, but I know he's not. It looks like he might be in China. That's hilarious.
Yeah, the biggest. Well, they got Yao Ming.
Yeah, I know,
so he's not the biggest human.
He'll be on the Lakers next year.
Elsewhere in birthdays, Ryan Rua.
Ranger?
Man,
Hard to say
yeah.
his name. Is 35.
Ryan Rua.
Rua. Martin Rusinski is 54, former star. Third leg Greg, 40.
Wow.
Inner ear, inner eye. Greg Olson's only a year older than me, or the same age as me. That's concerning. Thought he was old.
Chris Burke is 45.
Dan.
You have to admit, it's an amazing story. He was a Major League Baseball player. Now, negative 1.2 WAR, but I would say still that's very, very impressive. If you just think about it, the odds that he had to overcome to even get to the majors.
Sure.
Let alone,
Developmentally, it would. Let alone, 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 let
replacement level, like an average player. He's gonna be worse than that. But he's in the game. Good clubhouse guy.
Okay, jokes aside, I mean, maybe I don't know that much about Down syndrome, but I know that something very similar to Down syndrome that my uncle is afflicted with, they don't live that long. Is it shocking that Chris Burke is 59?
I'm not familiar with. There's a Down syndrome age thing.
Do you see a lot of senior citizens?
Average life expectancy 60 years.
Okay.
It's longer than I would have thought, but yeah, I mean, I know you haven't, because if you had, you'd never stop laughing.
What's
the right now you're trying to picture a senior citizen.
I wouldn't do that. So what is just the average life expectancy of?
It's like 72, right? Still.
Is it?
COVID did a little number on us, but
79.
American?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's higher than I thought.
Nice. I got a chance, man.
Yeah.
I can get to a honey. Then the partying starts. Then I'll do heroin.
I'll do it with you.
On my 100th birthday.
That'd be so funny.
Dude.
Because
we get big numbers on that.
Oh, my God. It'd be so funny, though.
100-year-old does heroin?
Yeah. Like, they set it up with, like, Hannah Batah and, like, the feel-good story. They come out to your house, your whole family's there, and it's just some chick with triple D's slamming a rig into your arm right when Fox 4 lights smacked out and horny at 100.
32 years old today. Maybe the beginning of his prime, actually.
Is it Brow's birthday?
Anthony Davis.
Wow. Fantastic.
I hate that he knows he's a top 75 player.
Like, he's very...
Like, that list didn't mean anything to any fan, but it meant something to him.
Let's just admit it. The guy sucks. It sucks that he's here.
Yeah.
He's not funny.
Suck.
He didn't even win Rookie of the Year.
Getting there.
I was just looking over his stats today, just trying to see how much worse he is. Doesn't play a position that you can't trade those. You don't trade a quarterback for a tight end, even if he's a really, really good tight end.
But if he's super funny.
Becky Hammon, 48.
Aces.
Sean Springs, 50.
Man.
Safety?
Yeah.
Corner.
Defensive back.
Corner, right? He was a 99 in Madden.
He was.
Bobby Abreu is 51. Today's War Game winner, 60.2.
Probably roids.
Rupert Murdoch, 94. Jodie Comer, 32. So hot.
Who's that?
She's in Killing Eve.
Oh, okay.
Good show. Terrence Howard is 56.
Invented math.
And the elements which are present within the physical realm, Joe Rogan, they have become 0 times 0.
It says he invented his own language of logic called teriology.
Listen, buddy. Just do hustle and flow.
Really good in that movie.
Jerry Zucker, movie director, is 75.
Molecules.
Paul Wall, 43.
The people's champ.
Joey
Great
Buttafuoco
Paul
is 69. He's the one whose 17-year-old mistress shot his wife in the face, I believe.
What a story.
Nina Hartley is 66.
Whoa. That is the GOAT right there. I think she's like a professor now.
Not a fan.
No, I mean, I'm not a fan, but I'm a fan that she's an old lady who's all hot.
She was in Boogie Nights, right?
Was she?
Wasn't she the one in the driveway?
Oh, there you
She
go.
was the one married to William H. Macy, I think.
That's right, who's constantly getting plowed.
She's like, you're embarrassing me. She's getting gangbanged.
Oh, God, it's tough. Ugh. Anyways, yeah, she's like a a professor and like sex activist.
Director Peter Berg is 63.
Dude, that guy. What a weird filmography.
Like what?
Well, he did Friday Night Lights, but he also did Very Bad Things. And like Lone Survivor.
I didn't like Friday Night Lights, the movie.
No.
The books. Have you ever read the book? I think you'd like it.
No.
I mean, you love high school sports and stuff.
I'll live it.
You like read? Oh, sorry. Wallace Langham, actor, is 60. He was on CSI and The Larry Sanders Show. He was, what's-his-name's writing partner, who we had in studio a couple weeks ago.
Piven?
Yeah, Jeremy Piven. Lisa Loeb, 57. And then...
Really?
From the gallery.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with her. She was at the station a couple times.
Then a couple of our heroes to end birthdays. We have Bobby McFerrin is 75. I used to have a Bobby McFerrin cover band.
That's just like one of those things where when you learn, like you've known Dan for a while, then you learn like he was into Bobby McFerrin, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Same thing if you told me like Soroy was really into Bobby McFerrin, I'd be like, yep. Why not just a normal band? Don't know.
I don't know that I'm really into Bobby McFerrin.
Too late, bud.
Oh, you just want to leave this out there? Okay, I don't care.
Well, I do associate you with Bobby McFerrin.
Well, it's just, that's the joke, the cover band joke. Do you know who Bobby McFerrin is?
I'm looking at his Wikipedia.
So he'd
right
play
now.
music without any instruments.
He did like SNL. It was a big deal.
Like there was a very short time when Bobby McFerrin burned extremely bright. And it was a time in my life when I had you can get 20 CDs for 1 penny.
Little Columbia House.
So he was in my top 20 because I ended up getting a Bobby McFerrin disc. But he'd just take regular popular songs and then he'd play them. He'd be like, boom, 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 boom. And he'd just hit, like, just whatever he would hit in his voice. And, like, he would lay down 10 tracks of himself. He's just going to do the bass part, and he'll just do this. And then he'd mix it. And that's why it's a wonderful joke to say that you were in a cover band because you can't lay down 10.
Okay. So I'm not going to write down Dan was in a Bobby McFerrin cover band.
Because you actually did a moment ago, believe it.
I still
don't know,
do.
Yeah.
Like, tonight, opening for whatever, it's Dan's. I don't even know what we would call the Bobby McFerrin
Let's
cover
think
band.
about it.
All right. And Jake's hero to end birthdays, Johnny Knoxville, 54.
It's a hard 54.
He was kind of in a cover band of Johnny Knoxville, in a way. Born on this Day Now Dead, Doc Ellis.
Won the Cy Young on mushrooms.
He pitched a no-hitter on acid, and I went looking that up this morning. Apparently there was like a little documentary about it.
The little cartoon one?
Mm-hmm. It
was
good. Yeah.
But then there was some other documentary he was involved in where he talked about it, and I was just starting to watch it a little bit. The Pirates of 1971 fielded the first ever all-black lineup in baseball. And now it's like there's just no black people in baseball. That's what they say.
I've read a lot about that. Or I say that. I mean, there's people have looked at it, right? Like the 80s. I don't know.
Like, why did this happen?
You'd think as someone who said I read a lot about it, I could tell you
something.
But I don't remember what they said the main, because yeah, it's like, well, part of it is that Latin players are
Kicking
also
ass,
competing. Yeah.
And born on this day now dead, Vinnie Paul.
Did you ever find the Greg Maddux documentary?
No. Have you?
No, I just know that you were stoked to watch it.
I'm very stoked on all the clips I've seen. Eventually, I'll have seen enough clips that will add up to the whole documentary.
Speaking of Vinnie Paul, why are the Stars off until Friday? I asked my Stars friends. They're like, random. Just a random scheduling thing. You just don't play from Sunday to Friday? I got to try to get into it here.
You got a void in your life now? A local sports void? What if you became Mr. Hockey?
I've told you before that I think hockey's my second favorite sport.
Tell me about the guy they got.
I don't know much about him.
Okay.
I read everything about it.
Okay.
But
he's like really good, right?
Yeah, he's a finisher too. So, and I don't know as much if like the Stars are. We touched on this the other day. Finnish finisher. It'd be the Mafia. I don't think they're making moves because of what's happening with the Mavs, but I think they're aware of it. And I think they're aware that, hey, this could be
time is right.
Real opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, think of it monetarily. Season tickets, whatever. You like going to AAC, you like doing stuff with your family, but you don't want to support those who stabbed you in the back or the front or wherever they stabbed you.
Why don't we all go together?
I'd be down. I love it. Yeah.
Okay. Why are you yelling at me? Dead on the Stay Still Dead, Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin. And
that was an accident, right?
Boy, I don't know, man.
I think it was an accident. Like he left it there or something. I don't know. Over the weekend.
Comes back and everything's healed.
Mm-hmm. It's not leaking.
Also died on the Stay Still Dead, Philo Farnsworth. He invented TV. Says here.
I thought that was Jake.
Jake invented YouTube.
Oh.
Oh, by the way, here's a new one. It's free for all you app developers out there. You're riding in the car with a buddy, and he's trying to tell you about like an article or a video, and he's like, I'll send it to you later. Not anymore. With my new technology, where you simply say, send article to Jake, and it airdrops it to me on voice command.
Just by saying it.
Yep. Anyway, closing remarks are brought to you by Ownwell. Doing a little Ownwell this week myself.
Yeah.
It is property tax season. Around mid-March, most counties in Texas having those assessments done. So sign up today at ownwell.com/thedumbzone. They'll help save you money on property taxes. 86% of their customers who appeal get money back. And that money they get back, you keep more of that than you would with other companies.
That's right. Other companies will take like 50%.
No.
Ownwell, 25%. Lowest rate on the market.
And you only pay if they save you money. Property taxes. They're a pain in the butt. Pay
Boo.
less with
I don't
Ownwell.
like them.
I don't like them one bit. Ownwell.com/thedumbzone. Just takes a few minutes. So what's this guy got?
Cowboys signed Turpin.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's exciting.
It's Turpin time.
That is kind of exciting.
I got a couple things. So y'all talked about blue zones a lot the last 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm. Mainly Dan.
Okay, well, I'll direct this at Dan then. It might just be a giant ball sack. There's a study that says that they don't exist. That it's a bunch of...
Oh, no.
You heard last week, Trump was all talking about, we got these people on Social Security who are 350 years old. Turns out, the places that are blue zones, a lot of pension fraud, a lot of bad record keeping. People appear to be older than they actually are. So,
I see there's an article about it right here.
Yep. Might just be an entire giant
That's interesting
scam.
because it does seem like a lot of them are in like remote areas, and it's tough to get to this one village in Belize. But here it is.
And their records building burnt down.
Everybody
6 years ago
lives to be 117 years old. Yeah. Let's study their diet. They eat primarily this and this. They get exercise.
That's so great, though. The whole thing is just...
Yeah, I think the bit is there's a lot of people, and this isn't throwing you that under the bus, Dan, that want to believe there's a way to eat that's like you can eat a bunch of fat and be unhealthy as long as there's lots of stairs where you live forever. Turns out you actually just have to eat healthy. What else I got? I'm here this week from Seattle for a nonprofit charity thing I run. It's called the Hunter Burton Memorial. We do suicide awareness.
Called the what memorial?
The
Halliburton?
Hunter Burton Memorial. Hunter Burton is a friend of mine. He took his own life 12 years ago. His family wanted to do a memorial thing for him, so we run an event every year. It's a tabletop gaming thing. but we remember him and do this cool thing every year. It's this weekend in Hearst at the Hearst Conference Center. If people are into gaming out there, want to come check it out, they can come check it out. I have things.
What kind of games we running?
So tabletop games. So you would think D&D, but there's other like card games that people play. We have.
Does Warhammer fit into this?
Other conventions like this might have Warhammer. We do not.
Okay. I don't really know what Warhammer is, but I know it's a big deal, and I know that their corporate office is down the street from my house in Grapevine.
Yeah, they play with little miniatures.
Okay.
You have these little resin plastic miniatures that you build an army out of, and then you put them on a giant table and you move them around.
Okay.
Push
So
dice
I wasn't
around
that
the
far
table.
off.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like other similar things, we play Magic the Gathering, Lorcana, Yu-Gi-Oh, that kind of thing. Card games. So I have a couple things. Jake made a comment about hoodies, but I have some shirts that are our merch shirts from the last couple of years.
Are you from here originally?
Yeah, I went to South Lake Carroll. Graduated in 2006.
Okay.
It was fun driving up here because I haven't driven through South Lake in a while.
You know,
it's gone to hell.
Yeah, it's gone to hell.
You know, this all used to be a field, right?
Yeah. So you know where the Central Market is, like across the street. There used to
Sure.
be an airstrip there.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Yeah. I flew into that airstrip. My dad flies a little plane. I've flown in and out of that like a dozen times.
Damn.
That's baller.
Yeah, it's really cool. Oh, well, it's not cool anymore. But I got some shirts here, a few different sizes.
Cool.
What I had left
They look
over.
very soft.
Yes, they're these Bella Canvas.
Now, do you
big
feel
ones.
like if and it's a noble cause, but the shirt has it has 988 on it.
Yeah.
The suicide crisis hotline, and if you Google like therapy near me, that'll come up. I'm familiar. But potentially awkward situation if that's how somebody decides to call. Like if you're walking around and I'll call. That means they're thinking about killing themselves and just.
Would you rather not help them?
Well, I would rather help, but just I feel like the
What if
times
you
at
see
which having
that-
the suicide hotline on your shirt can help.
Right.
But what if you see that shirt and you hadn't been thinking of killing yourself, but then you think,
I'll call that number and have them talk me out of it.
No, it just actually just raises your awareness that suicide even exists as an option.
That's not
and
the
you're
goal,
like,
though,
whoa,
right?
Yeah.
No, obviously the goal is not remind people about suicide.
Yeah.
It's to remind people that like suicide is a thing. You should
is bad.
care about your friends and remember that 988 is an option.
Okay.
It is an option.
What else do I got in my bag?
How's Seattle?
Seattle's nice. It's not hot.
I feel like I'd like to live in Seattle, but I don't
Seattle,
know.
I feel like
Your Portland thing has turned me off. To
it's
the,
like Portland,
Northwest.
but more serious.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
like
a
we
real
have
city.
Amazon.
Adults are running
Yeah.
Portland.
Yeah, one of the big political issues in Seattle is like Amazon doesn't want to have to pay as much tax for all of their high-earning employees in Seattle. So like that's the big political thing because there's people that want to house the homeless, but in order to pay for that, they want to tax Amazon, and Amazon has a lot of money to spend on local.
Seattle's a
homeless.
real city.
Yeah,
Like, they have
yeah.
headquarters of companies there, and I'm not saying Portland has none of that, but it ain't. There's not even really like a downtown. That is one thing that's really cool about it. I feel like Cleveland might have a little bit of this to it as well. Let's say that in the city of Portland, there's like 20 neighborhoods, and they all have their own downtown.
Interesting.
But there's not really like a skyscraper
Huge big building.
like
Okay.
downtown Portland. It's just that every little neighborhood has a downtown with their 3 bars and restaurants. You know, it's kind of neighborhoody cool like that. Seattle, I think of as more like it's a real.
Yeah, there's suburbs and there's little downtowns and stuff. But,
They got Sam Darnold, and so it's,
Yeah. I got this giant mouse pad for you. We use this.
Why?
Well, we use this to play games on. Like
okay.
if you're playing a card game on a table, you want something that isn't just a table, but you can use this giant mouse pad.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
It's got
I've never seen a mouse pad that big.
Well, I have bigger. I thought about bringing you a really big one, and then I was like, "There's no way
this
they have
guy
a table
Clayton's
that
like, come on with it.
And then we make commemorative poker chips every year, so I brought some of those too. You can check them out. They got pictures of Hunter on them. And then
Where do we want to direct people to the website?
Yeah, it's HunterBurtonMemorialOpen.com.
It's a nice website.
If you Google search Hunter Burton, it'll probably come up. It's spelled the way you would expect. And then I couldn't come up with other gifts that weren't just merch. So my trick that I will teach all of the Dumb Zone folks out there is if you don't know what to buy your guy friends, go to Lush and buy their girlfriends and wives things. It will help you a lot.
Interesting.
So these are very nicely smelling products.
What a guy.
Yeah.
For
helping us out.
the other cool people in your life. Hopefully they will enjoy them. It never fails.
Joe, you
She won't She won't. accept it, though.
You said
she
it.
won't
but-
be happy. She'll be upset.
Because someone else.
I'm going to hand her that. I'm going to say, oh, it's because this guy brought us some stuff and said, you know, blah, blah, blah. This is a good gift. She'll be like, oh, okay. And then, but it won't have come from me. She will just say, this is like the Pro Flowers thing.
Your side piece will appreciate it.
That's right.
There you go.
I'll give it to a side piece.
Or you don't have to tell her it's from me.
Yeah.
You tell her it's from you.
Yeah,
she'll sniff that out of a million.
Old Dan,
Well, then
just
you were
out buying gifts.
Yeah, every day is Valentine's Day with me.
Well, thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
That's your
Place is
review?
sweet.
It is
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you liked it, Dan?
Yeah. It's nice. It's got all the things that I expected.
The dog, it took him an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
But he
but
fell asleep.
The dog is quite the part of the program here.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
All right.
Adios, mofo.
Gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.
What's your name? G-Reg. What you do? Get how you do? Drop my drawers and let her see my third leg. Chilling on the 7th floor. I gotta let these chickens know. Big Greg is in the house and I finna make these choke. I'm a then I bust a quick. On a stick my between the. Come on, fellas, let's get weird. Stick your up in the ear while I'm laughing at these guys. A second all in the. That's how we do it, son. In a.